as well as viewers, to session 2 of the Steam Age. I am the Dungeon Master, and I am also called Order. Happy to have all of you here. For those joining us really quickly, or brand new or anything, just as reminders, let's just go down really quickly in alphabetical order and just quick name and character, and we'll just dive in. So starting with Alice.
Hi, I'm Lumi. I'm playing Alice. She's a drunk. I'm not, so that's gonna be fun.
Yep. And then going down to APOC.
Hi, I'm APOC. Tim, because we already have the primary Tim here. So APOC right now is the comedy relief, the comedic relief of the group. So yeah, there we go.
Excellent. Going then next to M, if you'd like to introduce yourself.
Yeah, hi, I'm Anthony, and I play Ambrin.
And yeah, go ahead, Erlen.
My name is John, and I'm playing Erlon.
Excellent. And then Lance.
I'm Lance. Or I'm Brian playing Lance. I'm just Lance.
Playing Lance.
I Lance playing Lance. And I am the necromancer moral compass of the party.
Awesome. And
the compass is broken, but there's still the moral compass.
Last but certainly not least, go ahead.
I'm the other Tim, and I'm playing Dr. Xanashar Glory Song. I'm here to fix the moral compass, I think.
Excellent. All right. So yeah, just as a few quick announcements. We're gonna power through them very quickly. For those, we usually have also Erin, who plays Chance, our Devilkin bard. She got a great opportunity. She's gonna be stepping away just for a few weeks, several weeks actually, as she performs in the play. So she may be back within the next few weeks, coming back in the game. She's not leaving us. We definitely are gonna be happy for her when she returns for it. Also, was hoping piloting Chance for a little bit, just to kind of like make sure you guys introduce her, or she's introduced to you guys, you're aware of her existence, and then try to quietly explain her off screen for things. Also, happy belated birthday to Lumi. You do have your birthday luck points we are giving you that you can use in this session for it. Also, congratulations to everyone. Every single one of you did a recap. Has not happened in my knowledge of like any of the campaigns like early on, so I'm awarding DM inspiration to all of you for this session. That will also stack with your journal inspiration and any birthday luck points you have. So all the rerolls.
So many rerolls.
So use them wisely. Your characters have depleted your things, so but we'll see what happens. So keep track of it. You have your journal inspiration. You have your DM inspiration. And for you, Lumi, you have your birthday luck points. So keep track of those separately. Honor code applies for it all. All right. Other thing to
technical difficulties here with the Zoom showing up. Just by the way, I think they can hear everything, but can't see any of us.
Okay. Hopefully, yeah.
That's okay.
Maybe let us know that. Yeah. Hopefully that can come through, but no worries if not. We can still play with what's being presented through the Steam Age. For the roll 20, I should say. Other announcements. We're very excited for Brian's campaign is going to be starting next month. He's already passed his session 0 and is doing his session 0.5s. So those might be popping up on our YouTube channel. So keep an eye out for that for it. And
I got to see some stuff.
Yeah.
I got to see some stuff today. I was excited.
Awesome. So yeah, we're very excited for his campaign, and some of us may be playing in his campaign. Look forward to more announcements with regards to it. All right. With that being said, does anyone have any questions, concerns, anything they want to bring up at this moment before we officially go into recap and get started with session 2? If not, let us begin this journey once more into the Steam Age. Last time, our travelers were on a train from Erdita to Jedna with a quick stop to Wahatwa, a small town over in the lands of Aram Urem. as you guys can see from the map right here. And let me just zoom in momentarily for it. They were about roughly in the middle of the tracks, getting closer towards the Ilari ruins, when suddenly robbers attacked. A train heist was initiated, and our colorful group defended the train from opposite ends of the train. We had a necromancer wizard, along with a fey giant druid and a human bard, all working together after there was a little bit of tension that started off with their group. And on the other side of the train, we had a small folk barbarian fighter with a devilkin bard, as well as a gnome apothecary and a unknown race fighter wielding a sword that sent people straight to hell, basically. All of you traveled or defended the train, dealing with these robbers, and were able to effectively neutralize the threat that they presented. And in a very vivid display of ingenuity and a lot of cool things. Like, for example, M uses fiery teleportation with his cat laser. Erlon was just swinging and jumped down on the train, hooked, landed, and slammed his axe onto a bandit. And a lot of fun and interesting concepts or styles were being done as you guys were learning your new characters. I take you all now to the beginning of session 2, where we are regrouping as I pull up the map. Back to the train, back to where it all is, right as you guys are converging towards the engine room. What had happened was that you guys had converged into the engine room after you saw one of the bandits, the bandits' desert boat or sand boat sail off, and came across a gnome engineer who seemed to have suffered a head wound and was unconscious. Over on this side of the map, let me just make sure, there we go. You came across a dark-skinned gnome with bushy black hair, tan skin, wearing a blue uniform with lots of leather pouches and tools and assortments in there. Kind of like a cute little cute face with a button nose and some earrings, but definitely a streak of blood on the back of her head as she is she experienced a head wound. Lance tried to pour some alcohol, some whiskey on her to wake her up. Didn't really work. You guys pulled her away from the fire as she's now drenched, and you all are gathering into this one moment. All of you strangers now suddenly meeting each other for the first time. And I'm going to ask every one of you to roll a d20 for me, please. All right, let's take a quick look at the gander.
Those are some high rolls.
Let me tell you
yeah.
what.
Oh,
Let me
yeah.
tell you what. Mm-hmm.
All right, let's
When he
start
says
with...
just roll a straight d20, anybody who gets over a 10 wins. That's just the way it works.
I've noticed
'Cause
that.
it never
Anytime I look at
happens.
d20, like most of the party does not roll higher than it. So, but okay, no worries. Let me just write down.
There's
the
6
order.
of us, and you had 2 over 10 and only 3 over 5.
I don't make the odds. Let's just see really
M rolled
quickly.
twice and got a 4 both times.
Ow. That's fine. Let's see. 3. Okay, there's Clock is with the 9, and then we have M, Alice, and Lance, which will be good because we can then show your character art, showcase it for a moment. But all right, Erlon, what is Erlon doing, as well as was he thinking, or like body language, as he sees this group? Some of them only one you met, Chance, the Devilkin, But the other two you saw fighting behind, and now you suddenly come across these other individuals. So what is Erlon doing or portraying kind of body language wise?
So probably walking in on a fully drenched fellow little person. Probably noticed immediately that it was alcohol. Probably gonna question the shit out of Lance. Like, why is he doing that?
Go ahead.
Yeah. So we just killed a bunch of people, but what the fuck are you doing with this chick?
Well, you know how like you splash water on somebody's face to wake them up? I didn't have water.
Yeah, and Lance,
Okay.
this is the first time you're meeting him, but you see a small folk with a big red bushy hair, wearing kind of like simple traveling clothes and leathers, and he is covered in blood, like Dragon Age style or Dragon Age Origins, just splattered with blood from head to toe, and he has an axe out that is shining like bright blue metal, like the color of the sky, also dripping with blood as he's looking at you at the moment.
You know you got some going on everywhere.
So like as I'm wiping, it's just not doing anything. Like the blood is pretty stained on there at this point. Literally just
Lance will
wiping.
just reach forward and be like, "This isn't gonna hurt," and he'll just press to digitate just your face so you can see your face.
You can feel the little the blood and the thing just vanish. It is noticeable, a noticeable tingliness, and then it vanishes.
Okay. Well, then I'm gonna be like, well, my name's Big Red, and you're kind of taking away my thunder right now, man. I'm Big Red.
Lance will just stick his hand back out and put it back.
That
He'll
moment,
use the soil effect. He'll use the soil effect and just
Yep.
make his face red.
and it comes back for the moment. As all this is happening, Zanny, what is Zanny's reaction after hearing this dialogue and seeing the situation with it? What's her body language portraying?
I think the only thing of that conversation that gets Zanny's attention right off the bat is when she realizes that whoever this guy over here is arguing with Big Red, this guy called himself Big Red, that he can cast prestidigitation. That's the first thing that I clock from all of that. But other than that, my attention is 100% focused on this gnome in front of me. I'm checking her out immediately,
Okay.
and I'm like, in the back of my head, I'm going, why in the fuck did that asshole put alcohol all over this one? That's a fire.
Yeah. So
it
you
turns
go
around.
over.
You.
Are you taking her away from Lance, or are you kind of like, because Lance is currently like kind of like holding her like with her like by the shoulders as he was dragging her away from the fire.
Yeah, put her down, please.
Lance, what you see is now another smaller folk. You could tell the difference between one is a small folk, but a rather large small folk, or tall, I should say, small folk. And now you see a gnome, which is much smaller in that regard. Big poofy white hair though, that almost like has like a flare of violet a little bit as it streams down with an eye patch for it. I know I pulled up the art, doesn't show the eye patch, but just imagine an eye patch on one side of her forehead. The other aspect with it is she's wearing a purple coat and such, and then kind of a little bit of a like traveling gear on the bottom, but you definitely also see little bits flecks of blood and such on her person, and a shotgun to the side that she had recently been using.
She's holding it by the barrel.
Did you speak in common or Rian to him?
I'm speaking in probably right now I'm speaking in Rian.
Okay, you're speaking in Rian?
I'm probably like, because I'm going back to my training.
Gotcha.
So I'm speaking in Rian.
Lance, you don't understand her. Erlon,
do I understand put down at least? Is that close enough?
This is a language, so roll a d20. You want a 19 and 20. Because that's a very specific phrase.
Absolutely not.
You just hear this foreign language being spoken to you. You have no idea what's going on as she approaches.
in Aramez? Aramic?
Yep.
He just goes, oh God, fucking foreigners. And then in common, he just goes, do you speak this language? I don't understand what you're saying.
And then I just immediately reply in Aramaic, oh, for fuck's sake, yes, I speak it. Put her down.
There you go.
He'll set her down gently.
Put her down, please. She has a head injury. I've got a way to handle this and move her. And I'm going to start ritual casting a spell.
All right. At the same time, Mr. Apoc, you see this scene. You see the different languages being spoken. This scenario. You don't have any blood on you, and
Of course not.
yeah, because the whole situation, you did not have any blood splatter on it.
What am I, a barbarian? No. We do things clean where I come from.
So what everyone sees as before Apoc even does anything is you all still see a masked figure with all you can see are just the eyes, the whites of his eyes and such, with a black hood pulled up, black cloak, black armor that is still smoldering. There's a little bit of smoke billowing a little bit out until he puts it off or decides it, and a long katana, which some of you may not be familiar with, but have seen or not have never seen before, but have seen it or in real life, but I've heard tales about it in books. And it is currently still on fire with a hellish red blaze, kind of like burning all across the blade for it. But
Okay.
Apoc, what is Apoc's reaction or body language, or what is he doing?
He's on guard. He'd probably he would walk in to where everybody is, if only just to kind of nudge Big Red out of the way, just kind of jostle him to the side as he's moving past him to kind of observe the scene. Just just basically threw a quick little elbow to Big Red, just didn't even talk to him.
Big Red, you guys take it away. What are you two doing?
Oh, that's totally gonna be another stare down. No stare off gonna happen.
All right. Both of you roll intimidation checks.
Please roll 22s again.
Yes, please roll the exact same number again.
Not good. Oh wait, I did intelligence.
Oh yeah, reroll persuasion. Or sorry, intimidation.
Intimidation. Okay, that's what I thought. I was like, wait a second.
Okay. Still, you kind of like are doing that, but you can't help but crack a smile because you were in the zone with it all. I mean, you haven't had a good bloodletting in a while.
This time you win.
Awesome.
This is gonna be so much fun.
Does Apoc say that out loud?
No. He just stands. Right now, Zanny and Big Red are his real allies. He just need to, put Big Red in his place a little bit. But he's just watching. He's not saying anything.
Okay. Awesome.
Can we tell from body shape at all what he might be under all the black?
All you can tell is he's humanoid. That's it. He could be elf, half-elf, human, any different.
He's full-size humanoid, not one of the little ones.
Yeah, but because of kind of like the intermixing of the races, you can't even tell kind of like the color, or not coloring. Sorry, the height. You can't even gauge that from it because usually elves are more smaller or shorter, I should say, than humans. But even this, because of the intermixing of the races and such things, you just don't know.
He could even be a mini giantkin, or as I call him, a minkin.
Mink. Awesome.
I thought those were just called human.
Nice.
Let's go to our Fey Giant. What is M doing, or thinking, or body language? What is he presenting or doing at the moment?
first, as everything settles down, and he's kind of walking over with Frank and Chance, he's checking in to make sure that Blazer's doing all right because he took quite a beating.
As
And
you,
oh god,
yeah, as you look at Blazer, he is almost limping a little bit. He's definitely favoring one paw over the other, and there is a gash in his back where he was stabbed by the bandit. Obviously, as a normal cat would not have survived that, but as a whatever he is, he definitely is able to continue with it, even though that blow should have just killed a cat. But there's no
that's my
blood.
wildfire spirit.
Yep.
Yeah, he's just gonna kind of pick him up and start petting him and just tell him that we'll get some rest and get him healed up soon.
Starts to
And
purr a
then
little.
he sees the situation with the passed out gnome in the cart and the whole argument with that went on in there. And yeah, he's just going to kind of stroll in quietly, and he's just going to kind of look around, and he's going to try to see if he can gauge like the condition of the gnome a little better, see if there's anything that can be done to try to help out and bring her back to or anything.
Perfect. And what everyone sees is this tall Fey giant, a little slim, slim features and such, with dark black charcoal fur as he goes forward, just surveying the area. I'm gonna move your token for a second.
Yeah, I tried to move it, but I realized I was on the wrong tool.
No worries. So yeah, definitely has like a couple of like piercings and such, has bright reddish gold or like a golden glow in his eyes with the kind of like the natural spark of fire in them. Wearing a green cloak and then kind of like green vestments down below with his ginger red cat. Not on fire, looks at this moment a perfectly normal ginger cat.
Well, I think because this is picking up right after session 1, right?
So then he is a fire cat.
Yeah, he's in wildfire spirit for an hour.
So yeah, he's actually just an inferno cat at the moment, just pure red with burning fire. It looks like he's holding literally fire that's shaped
and just
like
petting it.
and just petting it without necessarily getting burned at all. When you entered the train, you're able to look behind you and you see just a whole bloody mess on the other side of the cart where the coal was being kept. You see just bodies completely mutilated and blasted into pieces. You ignore that for the moment and focus on the gnome engineer. Then go ahead and roll up.
He is actually, as he's kind of coming in and seeing all the coal, he's petting Blazer. He's gonna be, you know what? Actually, let me just better safe than sorry, and he'll put Blazer down and not bring the burning cat into the coal room.
Okay. Keep an eye on Blazer, or do you just leave him to his own devices?
Yeah, just kind of sit him right outside of the door here and say, I'll be right back. Don't get in too much trouble, and watch after that one. And he'll point at Ferenc.
All right. Because you gave him an order, he won't go immediately towards the to the coal room. Because that was going to be what he did next. All right. Roll for me a medicine check, please. For the
switch tools again.
No.
Medicine check. I can do that. Pull it up here. Skills. That wasn't one of the macros that I had set up, but that's fine. Oof. That's a 9.
Yeah, looks like a head injury. A nasty one at that. Kind of looks both like bludgeoning and almost like a little bit of piercing damage, at least a puncture with regards to it. All right. And in order to do this, like you have to kind of like bend down and you're looking like closely at her head. You're close to Zanny. Zanny, you said you were doing a ritual. Both of you kind of like look at each other for a moment. If you guys want to share anything, you can. Otherwise, we move on.
Are you you healer some kind, honey?
I try to be when healing's needed.
I could use another pair of eyes. Anything you see that I don't?
I wasn't really able to pick up on much other than the obvious, and he just kind of points to the wound on the back of the head.
Well, that ain't too normal, though. I think something may be a little bit wrong with her. Beyond the head injury, I'm not sure. I expect more blood than this, even for a hit wound. But
Well, have you seen the other room?
no, I haven't actually.
Because
Just crane my head over and look the other way.
I was actually thinking there's a little bit too much blood for just this one individual.
Zanny, roll a perception check.
I've never wanted to fail a roll so hard in my life. Cool.
The door is
6.
slightly ajar, but all you can see is just like a little bit of the red painting of the floor for it. So you do see some blood, but you don't see the extent of it.
Oh. Well, I don't think that was this.
At that moment. Yep.
Can I say something to them because we're standing right there?
Sure.
There's also at the other end of that cart a pile of bodies that were burned with chain lightning.
And at that moment,
shit.
Alice, you hear this as you are getting closer with this devilkin as well as this bandit that seems to have pulled down his scarf for the moment. But what is Alice doing, or what is her body language presenting? What is she thinking? However way you want to take your character away.
So she's walking up, sort of with a purpose. She did see Im go into this cart, and she does really want to ream Im out for making her sober. She's very unhappy about that. But the closer she gets, she kind of passes for rank, because he's beneath her. He's a bandit. She's surprised he's not dead already. She kind of like sticks out her leg a little bit to trip him, but not do anything more than that because that's beneath her. She walks by. Obviously, she bends down to give Blazer a little pet, and as she finally comes to the door and she hears them say that there were bodies burned with chain lightning, she kind of like pokes her head in and she goes, "Where the hell is the driver of this bloody train? I have somewhere I need to." Oh.
Yeah.
Is everything okay in here?
Not particularly, honey.
Depends on
You
who
mind
you're
giving us a
asking.
few minutes?
She's gonna like look and she goes, "Im, does she? She doesn't know Imran's name, does she?"
I think he
Yeah, he
just,
said
No,
you
he
saw him,
we
man.
okay, we introduced you stuff. I know she doesn't know Lance, so she goes, "Im, we need to talk. Probably not now. What's wrong with her?" And she's gonna like step into the cart, like very nosy like, and she's just kind of like looking at this girl passed out on the ground. She goes, "What did you do to her?"
And at this moment, everyone that hadn't seen Alice before now has a full view of her. Alice is human with long black brownish hair, very elegantly done to the side, wearing a blue coat with like kind of like a little bit of a fashionable dress, almost borderline gown, as she's able to just enter here. She's carrying a martini glass at the moment. As she's also
Empty.
has jewelry empty, very important thing, with like necklace and earrings and very, very like fancy looking, like she could just very easily slip into a social gala at a hoity-toity like noble gathering place.
How distracted is Alice?
She's a little bit distracted by she's pretty distracted by what's going on. She's not often surrounded by blood and viscera.
Yeah, and
Lance is just going to reach over with his whiskey and try to fill your glass.
Yeah. Lance, roll a sleight of hand.
Oh, boy.
Alex, roll a perception. Roll 2 perception checks for me, please.
1, 2.
Yeah.
Okay. So the first one was the first one was for Lance. So you do see him pouring it if you want to
Oh,
react.
she's gonna just hold her glass like behind her a little bit more. Or where's he at? He's out. Is he inside or outside?
You guys are all inside at this moment.
Oh, okay, sorry.
So,
She's just gonna like subtly hold her glass out to him without even looking at him. She's still looking at the girl on the ground.
yeah. And then you glance behind and you just see everything. Like you see bodies completely dismembered in the other cart room, having like a main hole blasted through them before the energy ejected
Yeah.
limbs and other ribs.
So
and,
how strong is Erlon?
Erlon, what is your strength score?
Pretty strong. No, hold on.
Because Alice is about
Pretty
to
strong. It's a 4.
Alice is about to like faint in a very fashionable kind of way, straight onto Erlon.
Well, first roll a. Oh, sorry. I was just gonna say, fainting. Roll a con.
I
save.
just did. It's an 8.
Okay, you're good. You can faint.
Yeah.
Erlon, before anything, do you choose to try to catch her?
I will react to it, but not like knowingly. Like would think. I just like immediately think like, okay, oh, she's falling. Like kind of try to catch her.
Okay,
She's also not fully fainting. It's a very like faint kind of thing. Her drink is still clasped in one hand and it's not spilling. She's not going to
saying,
spill her
I'm
drink.
fainting.
Yes.
With
Elizabeth, I'm coming
not
to
drop,
join you.
not single drop. Roll for me a just a pure strength check for it.
Pure strength check. Yeah. That's fine.
14. You easily catch her, and she's just like, and yet you notice not drop to her martini glass.
As soon as I grab her, I'm just gonna be like, I'm Big Red.
Oh, Jesus.
she looks up at this person who catches
Also,
her, who's
Alice,
bloody.
you are now bloodied because it's kind of like smeared as
Oh no!
everything.
Alice, instinctually, she's just gonna throw her whiskey in his face and just like try to get back up again.
Can we stop throwing alcohol around fire, please?
Wait. Hold on. Do you drop her as she splashes whiskey on your face?
I totally am going to. Oh shoot! I'm gonna drop her.
Okay.
And then immediately start licking my face. Like,
Alice, you roll an acrobatics check with disadvantage because you are at a little bit of a prone situation.
Yeah, of course. I'm really good at
God.
these.
For her. Okay.
15 was the DC. You are able to almost, and you are able to like slam your hand on one of the kind of like the wall and just like nails on steel, hold yourself up and not fall on your backside. But now there's coal dust on your hand.
She's just wiping it off, but she's still gonna hold her cup out again for Lance to refill.
Lance is just gonna take the cup out of her hand and then put the whole bottle in her hand.
I do need that back though. That was a gift. She's gonna drink.
I would say there's very little whiskey left because you poured so much and then you did a last glass. So I'd say there's like half a cup left of whiskey in there.
Okay, well then if that's the case, he'll just pour the rest in there and then just kind of shake it and just toss the bottle into the coal room.
Okay. Just glass in the coal room now. On that note, Lance, what are you doing? And well, before we even ask you that, let's highlight some new character art for your person. We have with the new token and everything from our artists. More information will be posted later about it. But yeah, we got custom art for Lance going forward, and looks awesome. But you
And
Sheldon, which we'll get to in a moment. But for Lance, you are a human with long black hair, have a regal features about with you, black coat, black robes, black everything all down with a cane and a spell book to the side.
The only thing on him that's not black is his eyes. He has emerald green eyes.
Yep. And right next to him is a skeleton turtle, who just is wheezing at the moment. And that's it. Just
also, Lance is really tall for a human.
Yeah.
Well, not super tall, but He's
Yeah.
tall.
Tall and I believe the word you used was huskier, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like he's not like a fit adventurer athlete. He had snacks.
Awesome. But yeah, Lance, what are you doing at the moment after seeing all this and having everything that's happened at the moment?
Inside, he's just laughing at Alice's dramatics over here. And as he's watching all of this, he just kind of looks out at everybody and goes, I know this may be a bad time, but is anybody thirsty not for alcohol? Does anybody want like a drink?
There's a thirsty for not alcohol.
Well, I mean, the alcohol cart's back there, and we can go get that. But does anybody want like an Orca Cola or a Valley Dew? They're cold.
Might I suggest that we perhaps not go through the only provisions that we have? There are other people to think about than just our own needs.
Just out of the middle of this conversation, a finger just comes out pointing at APOC. Just out at everyone's waist.
There's an entire bar cart and a dining cart and another bar cart.
Alcohol's dehydrating, so at least more than half of our liquid supply is poison to us right now. Everyone should probably stop drinking.
Also, your first point about this not being the best time for that's kind of spot on the nose. We've got people who are like dead or dying.
Yeah, this one. And you all have been shot? All of you. You've been shot. Okay. Y'all need to sit down. I got to get some bullets out of you before y'all get poisoned or infected. Hi, I'm Xanashar. I'm a doctor.
I put a little bit of alcohol in there to make sure it wouldn't get infected. I don't.
Oh, I mean, that's a good start, honey, but we got to take a look at it. I mean, okay, I would like to take a look at it. Sorry, I'm working on my bedside manner. I'd like to take a look at it with your permission, lady.
Are you going to ruin my dress?
No, I mean, preferably I would like to do it without the dress on in a private room so that it wouldn't get blood all over everything.
Darling, I'm flattered, but I have a husband.
Again, I am a doctor. I'm talking medical examination, honey.
Right. And at this moment, the Devilkin kind of like steps in. Like the door has been open, so she's been hearing everything, kind of like peering through, kind of like finally reaches in, pulls herself up, kind of like the what do you call it? The handles that are usually on the side of the doors for the engine and everything. And she kind of like peers in, and you see a red Devilkin with large horns, kind of like an assortment of cloth bandanas around her her head, with like bushy black hair and some golden earrings, as well as like a nice comfortable blouse and pants, along with a shawl of sorts wrapped around, a teal shawl wrapped around her shoulders a bit for it. She's like, right, so should we go to another room, or
Yep.
okay, let's migrate over.
You hear Lance whisper to Sheldon, yeah, he's probably a fae and stole her name because she looks more like a big red than he does.
Roll a stealth check, Lance, and Erlon roll a perception check.
Oh my god, I'm not going to hear crap.
Not with the nat 20 from Lance. Well, maybe. We'll see if you roll a nat 20. Nope.
So before he, well, I wouldn't even notice it, but when he notices Chance, like, since I recognize her, I think Erlon's going to be like, Chance, look, I'm finally big and red like you.
That's impressive. You do live up to the name.
Yes.
By the way, hi, I'm Chance. Dr. Zanny. Wait, you said Zanny as DM.
Xanashara. You can call me Zanny. It's fine.
She would have said, well, Chance would have said Dr. Zanashara.
Yeah.
Okay.
Zanny's fine. We're going to be in the middle of this a lot. And it's a mouthful. So, I could use a little bit of room, y'all, because I need to finish this. Like the whole time, she's been actively casting a spell in like this circular area, like right next to her. It's like I could use a little bit of room for a couple of seconds to finish this up.
Yeah. Also, I was able to get one of the free rank is here, sort of reforming him at the moment. He might be able to also offer some information, potentially. And you just see a bandit with the kind of like a half his bandana just completely like in ruin. He doesn't have it on him, but he just like, hi, I'm Ferenc. Even though Apok, Erlon, and Zanny, you just saw him a minute or 5 minutes ago, literally threatening a hostage.
Yeah, you. I remember you. I remember you.
He just has like a blank stare.
Can Erlon literally take like some blood from like his side or something and put it over his mouth to like finish off the red?
Well, he has it off, but
okay, never mind.
Yeah, he has it off at the moment because Chance convinced him with a persuasion check to pull it down.
That's right.
No.
I did forget that.
Now specifically put it just over his mouth, so it's just the inverse.
There you go.
Is Frank bound in any way, or is he
just free, like, he has no binds or anything. He still even has his weapon. He has it just holster at the moment. So Chance like kind of like ushers you all to either give her space or to all of you guys to enter into like kind of like one of the I would say the bar room at the moment. Yeah, just at the let me ask Dr. or Zanny, would you want to complete your ritual in that room, or would you rather complete it in a more isolated room at the moment?
I want to complete it here. It's floating disc, so that we can move her steadily. And because first thing I thought was head injury, move as little as possible. So I always have the floating disc prep just for head injuries. Gonna throw that out and get her on there and move her as physically as little as possible while getting her where we need to go.
Okay. After about 10, and I would say the ritual finishes at this moment, and you're able to then move her out of the cart room and everything, in the engine room, excuse me, out of the engine room, and you guys move them, and I'll say you guys are able to reconvene a little bit into the, I'll say the private cart with the bar room, because it also does have water and other things that maybe you as a doctor may be able to use. So I'm gonna move your tokens at the moment. I'll say
Doctor, if I could suggest that you avoid using water for your cleanliness, whatever you need to do, and stick to alcohol.
Oh, I'm fine, honey. I got my own supply, and as we get her situated, she takes the doctor's bag that she has modified into a backpack off, and opens it up and starts unpacking like two flasks of like waxed and stopper sealed, like purified water that she has specifically just for cleaning stuff, and then a scalpel, a full herbalism kit, a full healer's kit, and then a full alchemist kit on top of that. Just ding, 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 ding.
Erlon, disarm the prisoner. Please.
And to clarify, he means take his weapon, not his arms.
I know. So I don't take kindly to like just random people giving me orders. So stare off.
Okay.
So what?
Stare off.
Stare
Oh
off.
my god.
So,
Doing it again.
Apok, Erlon, both roll intimidation checks, and Apok roll also an insight.
Stare off.
Episode 2, fragile and masculinity.
Lack thereof.
Okay, Apok, you kind of like stare at him, and you're kind of taken aback for a moment. Oh no, actually no, because that was the insight. You have no idea what's going on, but you stare him
No.
down. And
I tell him, I say, look, son, I don't know what your issue is, but if it makes you move your ass and do what I'm asking you to do, I'm gonna ask you to fucking please disarm the prisoner. Do we understand each other?
Can't do it yourself. Yeah, sure, we'll do.
all right.
And I totally did say, kind of in a whispering voice, you can't do it yourself.
Yeah. You go over Erlon and you take the pistol from Rank, and he's like, I'm gonna have that back, right? After all this is done. And you see everyone just stares at him and just does not answer. Rank.
It's up the
You-
cleft lip.
You took you took a hostage. You're lucky I don't shoot you.
I was just doing my job.
Yeah, my job is to make sure everybody else doesn't die. Your job was to do the opposite.
Actually, his job probably wasn't to kill anybody. It was to make the threat of death to make
Oh.
people more compliant.
Everything went south and they tried to take hostages. That's when I got angry.
Yeah, no,
That's why-
He
that's why I
actually tried to
David
shoot
over
them.
here.
Yes.
If I didn't step
Oh, he
in,
tried to
David
shoot
would have been dead.
Yeah. And
Did he
does
miss?
mention that they tried to kill you guys.
I mean, us trying to kill us is understandable. We were attacking them back. But shooting hostages, that's not cool, man. And Lance just like looks at Firank and be like, I was going to ask if you wanted a chocolate bar, and now you don't get one.
I mean, but I like chocolate.
Well, next time you won't try to shoot hostages.
He just like lowers his head a little bit,
Go sit down.
sits down. He sits down on a table, like kind of like one of like the stool, like those like side tables where you're just able to like put down your drinks and just leave them. He just sits on and kind of creaks like.
Zanny does try to catch your eye, Lance, when you do that, and just mouth.
Lance just kind of gives you a nod and
All right, Helene goes on the other side of the bar, and you all notice. Some of you know who she is. Some of you, this is the first time you're seeing her. She is an elf, pure like full blood elf with long green hair braided in the front, red blouse, bright green eyes, and long ears, especially for an elf. And she's like looking through, and she starts working on something and pulls out a first aid kit. And then she goes over and gives it to Zanny to start administering.
Oh, thank you so much. That's going to help a lot.
Uh,
Extra supplies is always good.
Yep. And you'd also notice one of the train conductor, also the dwarf, is kind of like right at the kind of like the door. He's kind of like half listening, but also like working and talking to the guard that keeps coming back, like reporting in what's going on with any of the other passengers for it. At the moment, though, is anyone doing anything with regards to the gnome engineer? Zenny.
and I was going to do something else that's not gnome related.
Okay, let's go with you
As
first.
well.
Okay, let's roll off. All three of you, roll me a d10, please. All right, Dr. Zenny, then Alice, then Lance. So say it the dice.
Now that we've got her situated, my first thing is just like medicine check and see if I can actually narrow down what happened here, and then that'll help me figure out what I can actually do about this.
Okay, roll me a medicine check, please.
No,
Plus
no,
9,000.
no. We're gonna use one of those inspirations on that, because this is no.
This is your journal inspiration. So and you
Yeah,
still
this
have
will be
the
journal.
inspiration. So with a 21, you're very quickly able to tell there's actually something that you missed on the first go round. There is pressure or signs of concussive force being pushed against her in her chest. And very carefully, like analyzing it, you're able to tell maybe she has cracked ribs as well for it. But mostly the big injury is the head injury. And you thinking back to the scene, especially with above 20, the engine room isn't just like sleek black walls, but or sleek steel walls. There's actually like piping and other things like nails and such embedded in it to hold things in place. You're able to intuit that something pushed her and then slammed her onto the wall, and the head injury was a puncture and bludgeoning damage all in one.
Yeah.
So there is a
Slapped
sign
her
of
into it.
potentially arcane injury at the beginning, and there is some internal bleeding potentially. This is a life-threatening injury if it's not treated soon.
Yeah, time to pull out all the goodies. I don't have much. It's going to take me an hour to get anything done because I've got to get my my spell slot back. But I can at least get started and make sure she's going to last that hour.
Okay.
So I'm going to start treating her with the healer kit and first aid kit.
Do you relay that to the rest of the group, by the way?
After I take a couple minutes and like just take a good look over her and finally realize a little bit more about what's going on, just like look up to whoever's nearby. I think it's M and Erlon, and just look over and be like, so I'm gonna need to keep her here for about an hour at least, and then I can start working on her. But if one of you all's got something that'll help right now, I'd appreciate it. But it's gonna take me at least an hour to get anything going with her. And I think I can keep her good till then, but it's gonna take me that long.
All right. Let's switch over for a moment then to Alice.
Yeah. So Alice is going to, just saunter over to where Ferenc is sitting on the table, and she's going to just very casually place one of her dainty hands on his shoulder, and she's going to offer him a drink with her cup. But she's also like in the middle of saying, "Oh, darling, you look like you need a drink," and then she's gonna act like she's switching languages, but she's actually just going to cast Detect Thoughts on him.
Okay. The surface level, right? Or are you diving deep?
We're gonna start surface level.
Okay. So the first immediate thought is, wow, she's hot. And roll a deception check.
For what? That was me laughing.
That's not sure if that was you or also your character. You're fine. The DC was 10. Go ahead.
So how did a fine upstanding man like you get caught up in a situation like this? I mean, robbery, that's the lame man's sport. I mean, surely you can do much finer things with your time.
1 sec. Yeah. So Ferenc answers, well, I was originally, I really wanted to try to be I was telling Chance, actually, and he points to the Devilkin, so now you at least know her name as well from the second introduction. But, I was telling Chance that, I wanted to be a wizard, couldn't pass my tests, flunk out of school, really tried. Then I tried to go and work at the docks because I wanted to be a sky pirate. And then eventually I was just trying to do a bunch of different things. Worked in Ardita for a bit, but got a lot of debt and such. And the Red Bandit or the Red Dune Bandits, very touchy about their name. They just they wipe out the debt, take on the debt and stuff. I work for them, so that's how I ended up here.
Can I push a little bit deeper with my next question?
Sure. That's a wisdom saving throw, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. And what's your spell save DC?
14.
Okay, let me roll for Ferenc. Straight roll. Okay. There it is. Normal. He resists. He just like. Well, first, what was your question?
Oh, my question was, and What would they even be doing robbing a train like this? I mean, it didn't go well for them, but it's not like they were looking for anything I had, and I'm probably the wealthiest person here.
As you say that and you try to like press forward, you, despite how ignorant he is, he does resist, and he's like, "Hey." That's all he just says.
You also hear Lance snort behind him.
You're just gonna hear in your head, just brush across your mind, shut up.
I know that no.
I don't know what you're talking about. I'm just trying to share a drink with you. I mean, I cannot seem to fathom why someone would come aboard and she's just gonna motion. They don't even have the good alcohol here. I mean, if I were going to rob a train, I'd at least rob a train with a good blah.
I thought those are all good alcohol over there. I mean, he kind of like points at the bar.
She's like, I could buy all of those with one month's allowance. I want something that is exciting, rare. I wouldn't board a train for that.
There's like 100 silver or 1,000 silver bottles over. So while Alice is doing this interrogation of sorts, Lance, what are you doing at the moment?
After that, he snorts and he's gonna look at APOC, who's next to him, and just go, do you want to go check all the bodies and see if we can find any clues as to what they were looking for? And also collect the weapons so that nobody picks anything up that they don't know how to use and hurts themselves.
I think that would be fine. I would also suggest that we send somebody to collect the other passengers and ensure they're safe and not panicking.
That's fine. We can send Chance to do that. I think that was, she said her name was. She seems like a calm, mean presence.
Yes, she
Much
does strike
less
me as the
scary
maternal.
than the two of us.
I don't understand what you mean, but okay.
Lance will just go, hey, Chance, was it? Can you come here?
Sure. What's going on?
Can you do us a favor? Will you go just walk through the car and check on the other train passengers just to make sure everybody's okay? It probably looks nicer coming from you, because, I mean, Sheldon scares people sometimes. And this guy's wearing a mask, and that guy's covered in blood, and she's bleeding, and he's a giant.
She nods, and I can see why. Yeah. And she goes, and she doesn't necessarily leave. She goes and she talks to the conductor, because the conductor is also coordinating with the sole surviving guard. Doing that exactly. Sure.
Perfect.
Coordinating for it.
At least productive. So the other,
Okay.
all the bandit bodies.
Would you like to get a second with Erlon?
Okay.
That's fine. You can do that while Lance was talking to Chance or whatever.
Okay.
Yeah. So, Apoc, how do you approach Erlon?
I walk up to him and I kind of hunker down so that they're not in a demeaning way, but so that he doesn't have to speak loudly. And he tells Erlon that it's obvious you have experience in defending people and inflicting damage. You're the only one that I trust to protect the men and women in this train car while I'm gone. I don't mean to leave you short-handed, but if anything happens, it's going to be dependent upon you to take care of these people. And then he kind of clapped him on the shoulder.
That's really surprising. So just with my history and stuff like that, that's gonna really hit home, I guess, per se, and make me feel just very like not only surprised by who's telling me, but more just like a feeling of value per se. So, and then I will promise APOC that I will defend everyone here, for sure.
You don't have to promise me anything. I know you will. All right, Lance.
All right. Lance and Apoc, you exit the vehicle and you're going to start looting the dead bodies. You've been kind of like pushed out of the car, the train cars and such. So we'll
We're
get to you.
not looting. We're searching for viable equipment.
Yes.
We're searching to make sure that there's nothing dangerous on them and information.
All right.
And by that can be condensed down to an easy word called looting.
Sure. Let's switch back for a moment between Alice and Rank to see if there's anything else left in that conversation for it.
So if he saves on my DC, does it just end the detect thoughts, or is it one
It
of those
does.
it does end it?
Yep.
Okay, well, that's annoying. Alice is just going to keep kind of not pressuring him per se, but just sort of like she's gonna spend the next few minutes just casually drinking, asking him, what wizard school he flunked out of, and saying that she knows exactly where it is, even though she's probably never heard of it. And then she'll go back to the whole, like, did you see the bloody mess in there? I mean, I don't know what makes that kind of mess, and I can't imagine what they were keeping in the engine of a train car. I mean, all I saw in there was coal. And then she'll go back to a little bit of, like, the flirtatious kind of thing, just sort of to give him a little bit of whiplash to see if he accidentally knows anything.
Yeah.
He's
Roll me
good cop and bad cop.
Yeah, right. Roll me a charisma check, please.
Yes, of course. I'd like to use one of my inspirations, please.
Sure.
Yeah.
Let's call that your journal inspiration first.
Yeah.
All right.
17.
Awesome.
Not bad.
17. Yeah, he opens up a little bit more with you as you kind of like converse with him, even though it's feigned and such at some moments. But overall, he does open up a little bit more to you and just kind of goes over, kind of like talks about his life. He grew up in kind of like in the west side of Aramere, discusses some schools, some scholarship he tried to apply with and did not have the grades for it. He flunked out of specifically primary school for it. Just not able to do anything for it. When you start talking about the gangs, the Red Dune Bandit stuff, he kind of does kind of like pause for a moment, but then opens up still and talks to you about just them trying to carve out their piece amongst other bandits in this local area, especially those that try to go after the town, as well as the different nomadic tribes for it. He doesn't really know much about the reason why, other than, the boss was working with this one mage lady that was very interested in us targeting this train specifically.
She's gonna get bored of him after a while and kind of just walk away to go watch Zanny, very much in the way.
Awesome. He does ask, hey, do you have any chocolate, by the way? That guy made me in the mood for chocolate.
Why would I carry chocolate? This dress does not have pockets.
Well, that's inconvenient. I mean, why wouldn't a dress have pockets?
Most dresses don't speak to my tailor. Apparently, it's just impossible to put pockets on a dress. I have to carry a bag with me everywhere. I should probably go find that.
He just nods. He kind of like scratches his head thinking about it.
She's just gonna pat him on the knee, give him that last little, like, a little bit of just touch before she's gone.
Yeah. And away you go. Awesome. Briefly, let's go to Zanny, Erlon, and M. Are the three of you doing anything before we hop over to Lance and
kind of like as the scene starts settling down a little bit and like Lance and them leave the area and there's less people around, M's just gonna turn over to Zanny and say, doctor, do you mind if I try something real quick? And he's gonna reach into his satchel and pull out, he's gonna look around and, I think I still got one left. he's gonna pull out a good berry, and he's gonna try to give it to the gnome.
Oh yeah, I know those by all means. What'd you say your name was again?
Oh, I didn't, but you can call me M.
No, you didn't. That explains it. Sorry, sometimes I'm not good with names.
It's all right. I'm used to not dealing with them where I come from.
And I guess formal introductions are in order after you give the good berry, but I'm Dr. Zanasara.
Well,
And
man.
then you do hear a cat go meow. As
Oh,
it's still
and this is Blazer. Sorry, I forgot to
burning
introduce him.
Is Blazer on fire right now?
He is living fire at the moment,
Okay.
shaped like a cat.
You are the cutest thing.
And just purrs in approval.
Can I pet you? I'm working. And I just turn around and I start setting I'm setting my alchemy lab up on the end of the bar.
Awesome. All right. Do you try to feed her your good berry?
Yeah, I'll try to give her a good berry.
Okay. Open her mouth. You drop the berry in there, and you kind of try to massage the throat to kind of facilitate that swallowing for it. And it takes a while, but then eventually kind of just the muscles' instinctive motion kind of contracts, and she swallows it. Takes less for cinematic purposes, not 6 seconds exactly, but probably about 20 seconds before you start to notice the bleeding has stopped on the back of the head, and her breathing has gotten more normal as opposed to a little bit ragged or wheezy for it. And then her eyes start to flutter, and finally they open, and then they focus as she is no longer having those life-threatening injuries. The good berry magic has done its job, and she's back to 1 hit point.
Well, hey
Ah,
there, sugar.
Yeah. What's she kind of
Good news. You're not dead.
Not dead. That's good.
But you're.
Oh yeah, I wouldn't do that.
No.
She's just touching her head, her hair, just to feel.
I wouldn't do that. You're not dead, honey, but you came pretty damn close, and I'd like to make sure you don't go, okay?
Yeah. What happened? Oh.
Can you tell me what may have hit you, or actually, you know what? We'll deal with that in a second. I'm gonna just light up a little the finger. Prestidigitation, just light finger up.
Yeah.
Can you follow my finger, please?
Sure.
Do the whole thing. Just how's her eyes looking?
Normal. As you put your finger up and you start kind of doing those follow the finger movement with the fire, she's able to view it. The wonders of magic, feeling her significantly for it.
That's good stuff. I don't even think she's concussed.
Oh, that's one thing I was gonna say. Roll a medicine check though, for it, because that might be the last part of it.
Yeah, she might be.
Mm-hmm.
I may not know.
You were able to tell that there's a slight delay, and that there might be some more healing that is needed for it, whether magical or medical.
Yeah. Either way, she needs to hang out.
She's at least coherent and has her full functioning motor skills.
Okay. Amber, would you mind helping me get what's your name, honey?
Hesla Zerno.
Hesla, you mind helping me get Hesla over to a chair here so we can get her comfortable?
Sure can.
Thank you, honey.
And she kind of stands up, and she's a little. She does have a good balance with herself, and again, kind of shorter folk. She's about your height, Zanny, minus actually with the hair, almost matching. The hairs, both of you guys have poofy hairs for it, and you get her seated into a chair. We're gonna pause that for a moment because it does take a while to do that kind of like medical testing for it. I'd say like five or so minutes.
Yeah, it takes a while.
For it. Let's switch scenes for a moment to Lance and APOC. You said you are looting bodies, or sorry, researching bodies.
Yes.
First thing first. Roll me lower. It's a low DC, but roll me a Constitution saving throw from the heat. You're both fine. So,
As we're both wearing all black in the desert.
despite it all, you guys are able to endure with those 18 and 19 rolls. Yeah, you're good. You notice very quickly there's like basically like 3 main piles of bodies. There's the closest one has like 3 bodies like kind of like piled up. These were like the first 3 that fought you, Lance. The second pile has the main leader, and then the final one is like perhaps the biggest pile of bodies at the rear end of the cart. So which ones are you investigating first?
We'll start at the ones we're closest to and work our way to the back.
All right. Both of you can roll investigation checks, or one of you can help the other and give the other advantage.
I'll help.
What is your investigation?
+2.
Okay, I'll roll then with advantage.
All right.
I needed it.
Yeah, but then that one is part of it. All right. You're able to find
22.
Yeah, with the 22, you're able to find very quickly, like pulling things out. You're able to notice there's there's some tarnished leather armor that you can take off. That might take the longest time to like peel it off and such. Still could be some worth for it. You do find a lock with no key, a vial of acid, and then a playing card set, as well as some scimitars and 3 pistols amongst them with bullets. And I'm not gonna post it yet because depending on if you go to the others, I'll give you the full list, posting it in Discord in the moment. But just so far, you've gotten leather armor, the lock with no keys, the vial of acid, the playing card set, and scimitars and pistols.
Lance has no desire to strip these guys naked. That sounds weird. But he will take the rest of the stuff besides the armor, unless APOC wants to start taking armor off.
I'm more curious to see if they have any identifying tattoos, anything that might indicate, I don't know, deception, subterfuge, that maybe this is not who we think they are. So yeah, I'd like to at least check their backs, arms, chest for any identifying tattoos or marks.
Okay. Yeah.
Well, if we're going to do that, we might as well take the armor off. So we'll take the armor off.
Fair enough. You start taking off the full armor, and you take off 3 tarnished sets of leather armor.
Okay.
When you are examining them carefully, and this is taking now more time for it because you're now looking at the different parts, you are not able to readily identify any identifying marks that are at least between these 3.
Okay.
You don't know for certain based off of anything else, but you do see one person that has no tattoos. One person has a tattoo of a heart on their shoulder with a B and a A, kind of like B plus A, or with the heart symbol around it. Not able to see anything else. The last person just has a bunch of animal tattoos all across their chests, their back, and their arms.
Okay.
Cool. Next pile.
Okay. We'll get to that in a moment for it. Switching back to the scene in the car. All right. Alice, most of you guys are now converged around Hesla, including Chance goes over towards it. Is there any questions you guys are asking Hesla at the moment?
Honey, what happened to you? What? Something hit you, and I think your head hit the wall, but what hit you in the first place?
Yeah, I got attacked by a mage. I'm not sure if they were a wizard or a sorcerer, but I started hearing screaming, and then I turned around, and the guards in the back room were 16. They were completely killed.
It's okay. Just breathe, honey. It's okay.
I tried to run away, but the only way to run was the engine room, and then I tried to stop the train because I didn't want them to derail or anything. And then they pushed me to the side.
And that's it. Just next thing you remember is waking up in here. I'm not good at these. Last night.
Yeah, I'd have to. Yeah, she just came in and wearing blue robes. Her face was covered. Okay. Close her eyes for a moment. And all right, I'm gonna. I do have. I can cast disguise self. Let me disguise myself to show what she looked like. And she kind of like concentrates, and instant her features change, and she turns into this large, tall woman, and she kind of looks like this. With blue, kind of like covering her entire body, kind of like to make it so that it's tell what it actually looks like, with like brown or black hair, blackish hair, I should say, kind of like short, wearing just regalia and other types of robes underneath. Not sure if you guys recognize.
Do I happen maybe any of that outfit or?
Nope.
So there's no like this kind of found from Aramir, or it may come from somewhere else.
We're not able to tell the it of her. This is memory coming
Yeah,
from
that's what they remember.
lads. Or exact. They do anything good. It has, I don't know. And any of you guys?
I was
I don't know.
No, I don't have advantage. But give me them beats.
A 9 from the doctor. We have a 7 from it. A 18. So, Alice, you don't know. You're uncertain. You're like, okay, she doesn't know. It was just very sudden. Dr. Zanny and M, you both can tell that she may be hiding a detail or two. And Erlon, you are. Anything anyone wants to react for it?
Are you sure nothing else happened? I mean, is it just you got hit and you blacked out and here you are? You don't remember anything else?
And she kind of like drops the disguise for the moment, and for her token right here, and she's just like, I blacked out. I came through for just a moment after, and she was stepping over my body. And I'm asking for one more persuasion check at this
Why did I have to open my mouth?
moment.
Yeah, I'm gonna use the other end from this.
Okay. That is your DM inspiration then.
Please be good. That's good.
Yay! Nat 20.
Nat 20. Okay. Feel like you're not doing enough, but you just keep staring at her. She takes a deep breath and kind of like sighs. All right, look. We were test driving a feature on the new engine. It's a top of the line mechanics for it. I need to check the engine room to see if that's what they were after, but that would be the only thing. It's supposed to be classified secret. So I don't know how she knew about it or anything for it, but that would be my guess. And she kind of like stands up a little bit. Now you can kind of see her. Now that she got that off her chest, she is eager to go back to the engine room to check.
The strange
Hold
thing
on
about
just a-
secrets
yeah.
is they always tend to leak out somehow eventually.
Yeah, well, I'm not sure who was the cause of this leak, but no, a lot of people are going to be very unhappy if it's gone. And she starts trying to make her way towards the engine room.
Oh, hells, if you're going, at least let me walk with you.
Right. Who's following Hesla and Zanny towards the engine room?
M will go with.
Since we're the same height, I'm still gonna, if she'll let me, I'm gonna take her arm and just walk with her.
Okay. She'll let you a little bit.
And then Erlon is just gonna kind of stand still, guarding, like he promised APOC, in a specific cabin.
Okay. So you're going to stay put in guard fee rank, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So Chance will go. Alice, are you going or are you staying?
Where is free? Okay, I'm gonna move my token. Sorry.
I am currently at the bar asking for another drink, and then she's gonna go over and just fish around in her bag a little bit and pull out this very lovely bottle of perfume, like glass, gorgeous shaped, got the like little squisher ball, and she's just gonna kind of squish it on Erlin's head because she can't clean him off or anything, but he smells terrible because of all that blood. So she's just, you smell like lavender now.
Lavender and blood.
Yes, I'm sorry, I don't know where my handkerchief went off to, but this, I don't really know what you've got going on here right now. If this, I mean, you did say your name was Big Red. If this is how you look normally, I don't know how you got on this train.
You do feel a poke, or like kind of like a tap, Alice, and you turn around and you do see like a handkerchief being presented by Nazir.
Oh, thank you, Nasir. And then she's just going to pass a beautifully embroidered handkerchief over to Erlin and go, you may keep that.
So I do see Nazir, correct? Or is
Oh,
Yeah.
no, it's an unseen servant. So you
it is
just,
unseen servant.
yeah, it's invisible and incorporeal.
Okay, so totally gonna be spooked out at first because that's just hell. And immediately almost like bathing myself like under the pits with a small little handkerchief.
Yeah,
By the end of it, it's gonna be soaked.
soaked with blood. Yeah.
Throw that outside, I don't know. Light it on fire, that might be the best thing. She's just kind of like icked out by him despite being covered in blood herself from the gunshot wound she has in her side.
Speaking of which, roll a Constitution saving throw for me, please.
Oh, God.
You still have a bullet
Yes.
inside of you.
Yeah, well, I rolled a natural one, Gassan.
Okay.
Am I gonna faint again?
I don't know.
How many hit
You
points
take
do you have left?
You take 3 more points of bleeding damage because there's a bullet still lodged in you, and you reopened your wound a little bit, a couple of times.
Yep. Alice is going to
They need to get that out.
hurriedly sit down in this chair right here, and she's like, she's not that pale, but she's very pale right now. Like, seen a ghost, sweating slightly, but she just sort of reposes, trying to keep her cool while she's just sipping out of her cup.
With the gunshot wound, still drinking. Sounds good.
She's very quiet now, though.
Yeah. You roll an insight check for me, please.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, you could tell if you don't get medical treatment or something with this bullet, you're gonna die.
Yeah.
Like, you're gonna eventually start bleeding out.
She's just gonna motion to Nasir, and her only command telepathically to him is, "Find me that doctor."
Just goes going after Zanny. Switching to Apoc and Lance, as you go back to researching, you reach the pile with the head completely bisected, with the bandit, as well as another bandit that has been burned for it. Do you both, I'm assuming, are gonna search the bodies? So roll me the investigation check.
Yep.
Yep. 14. You are able to find a coin purse. You're also able to find some more scimitars. You are able to find a purse with also some fancy stones in it. Looks like rosaline and turquoise specifically. And
I'm assuming that's on the leader guy.
yeah, and then also a dice set, just like kind of like just playing dice and such, and then a pistols and the scimitars. More of them for it.
Okay.
And I'm assuming you're taking off the armors as well.
Yeah. Does the Voss have the same tarnished armor, or does he have better armor?
He has the same tarnished armor.
Okay. I will pull it off too, just so that Apoc can get his good look in.
It's a slightly shiny.
Yeah.
Are
Or
the
not.
passengers on the train? Are they? I mean, do we have an audience as we're doing this?
What you're noticing very quickly, because the ones that there's 3 people that are outside of the train that have not gone inside. Everyone else is inside the train. Some of them have kind of closed the blinds and such. There is a guard patrolling, going back and forth from what you heard from Chance in relaying some of what's going on with the guards. A lot of them are pulling the blinds down because there is no more air conditioner for it. And they're kind of like slamming the doors, trying to insulate the inside, because it's 110 degrees outside of in the desert. Inside, it was originally like 70 degrees. Now it's about like 75, getting closer towards 80 degrees.
Yeah.
But
My concern is none of the kids need to see us, rummaging through naked men's bodies.
Yeah. And I'll ask a very important question. You're removing the armor. Are you also removing the underwear?
No, I am not. Lance, you do you, buddy.
No, Lance was gonna leave the armor on, but Apoc said he wanted better looks, so Lance is like, we're gonna take the armor off anyways, we might as well.
Okay.
Keep
so
it.
You leave some dignity with some pants. At one point, you're kind of like checking to see like, is there like a hidden pocket underneath? You see like one of them has like a polka dot underwear on for it, but otherwise you leave them with their dignity to die.
Lance also, when we're done, does lay them out in like, if they were gonna be buried like flat. He lays them out flat, puts their on their back, arms to the side, make sure their eyes are closed.
Okay.
What's funny is between all the bandits, if you line them up, they have the entire master plan tattooed on their butt cheeks, but now we'll never know.
I knew it.
That was the key thing.
We're missing fee ranks. Peace.
Yes. Oh God, don't say his piece.
I was gonna make a bad bard joke, but Lance isn't a bard.
So the key thing, the key message.
They've got another bag of family jewels hidden on them.
The identifying thing that Apoc is looking is on the butt.
Kill the Altana. What's an Altana? All right. You know as well as I do that we can't leave these bodies here to bake in the sun. We're going to have to drag them away, and depending on how long we're going to be here, we will probably have to dispose of them. I'm not burying these assholes. We can set fire to them.
If they... Lance looks like he wants to say something, but looking at you, he doesn't know how you would respond to him saying what he wants to say. So
now is not the time to edit yourself. Just say it.
Okay. He's gonna look and be like, but if they dry out, they make better zombies.
Okay. All right.
Does Apoc actually like rub his mask?
Yeah, he does. No. He just looks at him and says, fair enough, but we don't need them drying out here.
Agreed. After we're done, we should put them all in a pile. And we have alcohol. We do have ignition. And some of these, they're kind of skinny, but there should be enough fat on them to get a decent fire going. And skeletons are better than zombies anyways. Okay. We'll burn the bodies when we're done with them all. But at least we can lay them out so they have some dignity for a minute.
Dignity? They're the enemy.
They're still people-ish for now.
For a moment there, I thought you would have fit with the Lepus, but now I'm starting to think otherwise.
With the what?
Anyway, long story.
I'm just.
All right.
Lance is like in the heat. He's just kind of going like this. Like he's still hungover and realizing standing outside is probably a bad idea, but he's also motivated to check these bodies himself.
Yep.
So he's like, let's just go get these other guys examined, and then we'll ask the other group what they want to do with them. I don't know, maybe we can use them as fuel to get the fire going, to get the train moving again.
Whatever you say, brother.
You guys continue on, and you get to the third group. You do see there's the Ice Genie Kin, the Elf, and the Satyr. They look like they're sweating. You guys are sweating because of the heat, and they kind of like nod, and they kind of like gesture to them. Do you ask anything with regards to it?
Why are you still out here?
And this is the Satyr talking. As you notice, she's the one with the red hair and the horns. She's like, not being inside, we were just wanting to make sure everything was okay. And then we saw you guys coming over. We wanted to ask what's going on.
What's going on, Lance?
The conductors was hurt, like the driver. Our friends are fixing them up. Hopefully when they're done, we can get the train moving again. But you guys should be inside to make sure that you don't get too sunburned. And he looks at the Ice Genie Kin and be like, especially you, how are you not melting? Literally.
She lifts up her hand, and you do see that there's a ring. She just gestures to it.
Ah, smart.
Yeah.
But
everything
yes, you
is
guys.
hot here, so this feels like everything is just hot.
Yeah, we're just checking to make sure there's no clues as to why this would happen, and then making sure that all of their weapons and stuff are secured so nobody gets a hold of them and has any strange ideas in case we can't get the train moving again and we need to move in an orderly fashion. We don't want anybody to panic and have a gun.
You notice the elf had his hood up, and he kind of like just nods his arms like, all right, I think that's all I just needed to hear. And he just like opens the door and gets ready to go inside.
Half useless. Is the Geniekin, is that a male or a female?
It's a female. She has kind of like white snow hair. Like right now, it's still blowing because of the desert heat and everything. She's wearing just like kind of like a black shirt with no sleeves and collar pulled up, and then kind of like some bracers on her arms and such. They're just wearing like all black and white skin, the skin color of ice for it.
Excuse me, miss, is there anything that you can do, and forgive my ignorance, to perhaps cool the temperature inside to help people be more comfortable?
If you have any water, I can freeze it really quickly.
I believe there's water inside.
And I can freeze it. That's the best I can do. I'm not fully trained yet, but I can freeze water, and then that can create a cooling effect, even if the water is hot.
Interesting. Well, I don't believe we're that desperate yet, so perhaps we hold that in abeyance for now.
Sounds good. Let me know if there's any way I can help. And you see the Satyr's like, yeah, me too. Was gonna step up, but kind of froze in place. And then she goes,
And you're not the one made of ice.
and she kind of like nods approvingly with a joke.
All right. Head inside, and we'll take care of this.
Yep. They head inside. You guys do your investigation checks. Roll your final investigation check for these group. This is the big one because there's 5 bodies.
30-20.
All right, dirty 20. You are able to find more items for it. A lot of the same things. I will, with all those successful things, let me.
I forgot that wasn't straight Coke.
Wait, what's going on?
I picked up my can and had more than I should have for it not being straight Coke.
Awesome. All right. Well, I'm gonna post the loot with no values because you don't, unless you take time or have a background to analyze it, you don't, or count what it is. You have a total of 9 sets of tarnished leather armor, 8 fancy stones of rosaline and turquoise, a lock with no key, a vial of acid, a playing card set, a set of dice, 2d6 essentially, 3 scimitars, a coin purse, 55 pistol bullets, 9 rusted pistols, and a double-headed coin.
In the partridge in the pear tree.
There you go.
I was
Awesome.
totally about to just type that in.
Did they have any canteens of water on them or anything like that?
I would say, yeah, they well, let me roll for that, because that was on the meta-wise, that most of their supplies were on that boat. They would have, at least the leader would have a canteen of water.
Okay, we're gonna take that just extra in case.
Gotcha.
That's just desert heat. Any water liquid source you can find, you keep.
Yep.
And unless we're draining all these guys' blood, which I assume people don't want to do, we're not.
All right. Which one of us is a vampire? Let's just get it out right now.
Steps out
always
and
one.
immediately dies from the sun.
It's APOC. He's wearing all black, literally covering his entire body.
You don't know. He could be a vampire.
That's to throw him off from the real vampire, which is clearly maybe
As we're
you.
hauling all this stuff back, Lance is just gonna look at APOC and be like, "Okay, why are we all hidden?" Like,
Yeah. Speaking of which, this is a lot. So do you guys have a way to carry it? Or
It's
Or do you
not
have-
going anywhere. We can just leave it where it is.
okay, if you want.
we'll take all the little stuff. Lance will take all the little stuff and shove it in his bag,
Okay.
like the dice, the cards, the acid. And I mean, he can probably carry the rest of it.
Okay.
Lance is a tough wizard.
I mean,
At least we'll drag it inside so it doesn't start crumbling or anything.
Yeah. Leaving bullets outside in the heat, probably a bad thing.
Right. We're gonna at least drag it inside.
Okay. Cool.
And when Lance asks the question, I tell him honestly, I am possessed of great shame.
I know that feeling. My family has been shamed recently, unfortunately. And hopefully someday I'll be able to bring their honor back to them and their position.
I clap him on the shoulder and say in all seriousness, I highly doubt you will.
And he just looks at him and just goes, "You know how I know you're a good guy? You speak the truth." And he's like, "Here, it's hot." And he just hands you a bottle of Orca Cola.
Thank you.
I'm like, "I have a bunch of them. Just drink it."
Yep.
Thank you.
Do you drink it, Apoc?
It's cold. It is ice cold.
Sure. What the hell?
Okay. Do you remove your mask to drink it?
I can't drink it. I tell him I will enjoy it later.
All right. I look at him and go, "I'm going to put it back in my bag to hold. When you're ready, come let me know. This way it stays cold. Everything in this bag stays cold."
You're an onion, Lance. Thank you.
You're welcome. Let's get inside before we become the opposite of cold.
And this is the last one. Roll con saves for both of you. Because you guys have been out for like about 30 minutes with these bodies. Alright, Lance, you're fine. APOC, you just barely make it. You can feel already like a little bit of a headache starting to come just from heat exposure, but you're fine.
Okay.
All right. Hesla goes over with switching to the engine room scene. Hesla kind of like looks and it's like stares at the machinery and everything. For you guys, you've seen like when you entered, you didn't really pay too much attention. It looked like there had been some damage on it. Now that you're focusing specifically on it, you are able to tell that a lot of it has been like ripped open and such, and the engine is been broken. It's been something has been ripped and removed out of the engine. And Hess is like, oh shit.
Is that as bad as I think it is?
Yeah, this is bad. This is really bad. Okay.
We're walking, ain't we?
No. And she kind of like looks and starts doing an investigation check on it. Let me roll. We won't survive in the heat. Let me roll for Hesla. Okay, looks like. All right, it looks like we can still repair it. Yeah. It's gonna take me probably. Okay, so there's some spare parts in the back. I can try to grab them from in the train and then start working on them. I can cast mending on it over and over again and use my tools. This is at least 12 hours.
I can come back and give you a hand. I mean, I know some of this stuff, the basics of the engineering stuff at least. But
Yeah,
like,
this is replacing the metal broken parts, mending it. It takes like a minute for each part to start fix with it. That's what's taking the most time. But I mean, do you know the mending? Do you know mending cantrip?
well, when I get some sleep in me, I'll be able to help you out.
Okay. I can get to work with this, but the heat is intense. There's not, with the air conditioning disabled. I'm gonna start working on it at least right now, but I'm mostly gonna be working on it at the night, so that way I don't pass out from it.
Yeah, we need to make sure that we conserve energy. We don't do a whole lot during the daytime right now.
And she kind of like starts looking. Shit, they stole my sending stone. Okay. Yeah,
Okay.
they were thorough. And
About what's your protocol? How long do we have to be gone before they realize we're gone?
well, I mean, we like a couple hours before they start sending a message. But then, I mean, we're at least 6 or 8 hours out, plus the 2, and we're looking at least 10 hours already.
Okay.
DM, as she looks for her sending stone and says they took it, just in case that maybe it's possible it fell out during the fight or whatever. I'm going to actually cast detect magic.
Okay.
To just see if there's anything around. Maybe it pops up.
Awesome. Are you doing that as a ritual or as a spell? It's a ritual.
I'm doing it as being a Fey giant. I get to do it once per short rest. So
Okay.
it just counts as a spell, not the ritual.
Great. And yeah, you were able to look and you do see she has a bunch of like a couple of magic items on her, including like a weird looking gadget or tool on her side. You're able to see, well, let me ask, Zanny, what magic items do you have on you?
Magical items that I have. Oh yeah, looking around at me, you would probably notice a glow coming from my bag. Not a very bright one, but my hands.
Okay.
And it probably actually looks more or less like my hands are glowing, not like a pair of gloves on them, but just my hands are glowing.
Yeah, and I will say for you, you do notice there's like a flicker in her eye, the one with the eye patch.
Nice.
As for Chance, who is also there with you, you do notice that she kind of has like a musical instrument that glows a little bit, as well as, let me just look at that. one of her earrings and a horn that's strapped to her hip. All right. You don't unfortunately see the sending stone, and you kind of think maybe that bandit or the lady took it at the moment. Right. Zanny, you do feel a little tap on you, and then kind of like a nudge, like one of your coat is being pulled a little bit. You could roll an Arcana check.
This is one of them things, isn't it? Let's see. Up.
That is exactly the DC you needed, because it's a you can tell it's an unseen servant, and you kind of saw. You didn't see it, but you did see something was assisting Alice when she was in the car, in the private car. So you can.
Oh, yeah. Ah, wait. You're that lady's Lawrence. That's right. Yeah, you.
Tugs again.
You wanna? Okay. M. A chance, right?
Yeah.
Can you two keep an eye on her? I think this thing wants me to go with it.
Can do.
Okay. Thank you. And then I reach out for whatever this invisible force is to take my hand and just be like, lead the way.
Incorporeal, but it is pulling you, and you are able to be guided gently back to Alice. And I'm gonna just let everyone know we're gonna go on break in about 8 minutes. So just FYI. But yeah, Zanny, you do get to go back to Alice, and Erlon is there watching Feerank. Feerank is kind of like humming a tune at the moment, not sure what to do with himself. So.
Do I notice that even more color has drained out of this young woman's skin tone?
What's your passive perception?
13.
Yeah, you would notice she looks paler.
I'm just immediately assuming this thing came to get me to come to her. I'm just gonna excuse me, Red. Need to come through here, and just push past him and come over and just take a look at. Oh, 16. That's bad.
Oh, no.
No, honey, no.
Oh, no, in your
No,
head you hear, please, by the 16, help me, I think I'm dying. But just in your head, out loud, she's...
Can I respond in kind?
No.
Okay.
You think, but it doesn't,
yeah.
She doesn't react or seem to react.
I instinctively try to, and nothing happens. I'm just like, oh, you one way. Okay. What's your name, sweetheart?
Alice Mazer.
Okay. Dr. Xanashar Glorisong, if you will come with me to one of these other rooms, honey, we're going to have to get that bullet out of you. And I either need to cut a hole out of, or you need to come out of that dress.
I would rather die than let you cut this dress up. It cost me, well, my husband, a lot of silver, and she's gonna stand with as much pomp and circumstance as she can, but, she does pretty well.
Yeah.
She does pretty well. She's got, like, a slight, like, limp, and she's holding her hand over the, like, wound, just trying to act like she's not about to pass out. But she will follow you.
You want to kill yourself.
Absolutely not. The liquor will kill me before this bullet does.
Also that, you cannot be drinking right now. You are bleeding internally, honey. You will die.
But isn't alcohol good for, wounds, like cleaning them
The
and
exact
stuff?
opposite if you put it inside you.
That seems...
If you put it on you, it's good. If you put it in you, it's bad.
That seems silly.
Come on, honey. Red, could you help me out? I might need someone to hold her down.
Absolutely. He is a man. I think.
Okay.
Are you a man?
You asked that to Erlon?
Yes.
Erlon, you...
It's hard to tell under all of that. Ow. Never mind. It's okay.
Yep.
Frank just looks confused. Like,
Yeah. You gonna keep arguing, or are we gonna get the bullet out of you? Come on, let's go.
Just close your eyes,
Yeah.
Miss Neil. Close your
As they're
eyes.
passing by really quick, I'm going to then give her her handkerchief back. Like, it's
Not going to touch it.
grimy.
Not at all going to touch it.
Do you put it in her? Oh no, she doesn't have a pocket. So yeah.
On the way through, I'm gonna grab my healer's kit, and because I took pretty much everything out of my bag, so I'm gonna grab my healer's kit, my herbalism kit, and my scalpel.
Okay.
And I'm gonna start walking her over to a private room because that's got to get out.
Mine is the first door on the right. Left.
You reach the door, and this is gonna take a little bit, but you do start to try to provide some surgery. Roll me a medicine check, please.
I have expertise and bad wisdom. That's great.
Okay. You get the bullet out, and Alice, you take 3 points of damage in that.
I have 3 health.
So you scream in pain with everything.
And
Pass
pass out.
You're not dead or on death saves because this is
And there it is.
medical kit and everything.
I just as soon as she passes out, immediately one charge out of the healer's kit. She's stable.
Yeah, she's fine with everything.
Yeah.
It's the pain and the kind of the blood loss as you have to cut into her a little bit and then take the bullet out for it. But then you stitch her up and you bandage her as much as you can and you leave her to rest in the room. We'll see how long Alice is unconscious for in her room.
I'm gonna stay by her side till she wakes up.
Okay. We're gonna start time skipping a little bit. Well, actually, this could be a good place to pause it, but for a moment, let's continue on. APOC, sorry, and Lance, you both return, and you see Erlon and Ferank, but you do not see anyone else in the room. What are the two of you doing?
Not at Erlon. Any issues?
Nope, he's just been humming this terrible tune this whole time. Other than that, that one, posh-looking lady, I'm pretty sure she's not doing well, and she went into the other cart with the big-haired one.
You did well. Very well. Thank you.
I assume they got the train engineer conductor lady moving.
Yeah. And Erlon, would you explain what the Hesla told the rest of the group? Or not?
Oh yeah, exactly, yeah. So just letting them know that there's a possibility that the hooded lady previously stole. I think Lance was there for that, though. Correct?
No, they missed that entire conversation.
Oh, okay, perfect. So yeah, just inform them about that they had a prototype in the engine room that they may have stolen. I don't know yet, but they went to go check on it and also see if they're going to be able to repair the train.
Would Lance know from the description who the magic lady was?
It's vague and fuzzy. You have no idea at the moment.
Okay.
Because you didn't even see the picture. You're just hearing about mage wearing blue and violet. Hard to tell. That.
I was just wondering if Lance is like, oh, I know that lady. She's the head of the whatever tower that I met that one time. And
at this moment, no, because you don't know if they might be in disguise. You know that if they are capable of doing that, they very likely did not come as they appear.
Cowards.
Eventually, I'll say that after about 30 minutes, Hesla and Chance and M come back, and you see they're all three of them are sweaty just from the heat. In this room, it's right now 80 degrees. Outside, it's still 110. It's been about an hour since the fight started, and Hesla's like, "Hi, I need a break. Gonna keep going at it and get some more supplies, but I just need a break." And she's fanning herself from basically what she's doing is just going in, and even though it's hot in there and everything, she's mending and getting things ready and ripping things out in anticipation of replacing things. And I think this is a good spot to pause the game. And we're going to take a 15-minute break. Actually, what does everyone feel? Do they want 10 or 15 minutes?
I'm good with 10. That's just me.
All right, 10 it is.
Well, no.
No, I see everyone else is also doing
Okay.
10. So,
Tim
yeah.
Tim has spoken. It is 10 minutes.
Stop.
Yeah.
You're the professor, not me.
There was a majority. There was you, there was other Tim, there was John.
So
and,
saith Tim.
Gassan, I actually want 11 minutes if that's okay.
overruled.
Can I have 13 and a half?
Overruled.
Oh my god.
All right. I'm posting it just like how, Aaron recommended. I'll see you all in 10 more minutes. So take care.
Sounds good. Yeah.
this episode is brought to you by refreshing drink of Coca-Cola.
I want you to meet somebody that I met today. This is Samson. I got him at Hobby Lobby. Look at his little arms.
Aww. He's adorable looking.
He's so squishy. I have a collection of stuffed animals growing on my desk now.
If any of our member comes to him,
We'll riot.
We need a picture of that by you.
I need to clean it up a little bit because it's also got figurines and Pokemon cards. And then
Okay, I don't hear anything wrong with it.
Oh no, most of my figurines are just fallen over. They don't stand well, so that's what I mean by clean them up.
Oh, I
Put them on their feet again.
Okay, fair enough. Alright, we got, hold on 1 sec. Alright, we got M, we got Zanny, I think. Do we have John back? I think we do. We got, great. Awesome. We're back. Alright, first things first. Alice, roll me a d4 to see how many hours are you passed out.
This
This is
is
perhaps-
gonna be the one high roll that I roll.
That's what I was about to say. Perhaps this is the. There you go. 1 hour. Just enough. Also, as we enter in this stage of the story, you guys are getting a short rest, so anyone can roll their hit die if they want.
Can I roll my hit die?
Yes.
Uh.
This is what you recover as you were passed out. Thanks.
I've moved the alchemy lab into Alice's room, and my short rest is I'm working on a potion to get my spell back.
Awesome. So yeah, great.
I will
Excuse me.
go ahead and partake in a nice short rest.
Excellent. And anyone else, you can definitely roll a hit die if you want. Otherwise, no worries.
So I'm guessing I can't use Song of Rest since I'm kind of.
Yeah, you're passed out, so no, you can't do Song of Rest at this moment.
What did
for
I
it.
roll? Why didn't I roll?
And Blazer will revert back to just his quote-unquote normal cat form.
Awesome. So now he appears to be a cat.
I rolled 2 of them. What is going on, D&D?
All right. You guys got some good help. You guys are rolling high for the rolls and such for your hit die.
D&D Beyond's been a little laggy tonight for me too.
Let's go down the route, see what are they doing as it goes from late afternoon to dusk. So it's about 2-3 hours are gonna pass. We're gonna start time souping a little bit of it. And let's roll to see. Everyone roll me a d12 this time. All right, let's see.
Wow, it's really slow.
Erlon, you got a 7, M an 11, Sandy a 4, Apoc a 10, Lance a 2, and Alice a 6. And let me roll for Chance really quickly. Well, I'll give her. Yeah, I'll give her last. So, all right, let's start with M. What are you doing the next 2 to 3 hours as you guys are trying to basically, or Hesla is working on the engine as much as she can with some breaks because of the heat. But what are you doing from afternoon to dusk?
He will be sure to get at least a good nap or 2 in. And then he basically, I think he's just going to spend a lot of the time just making sure everyone is everyone's wounds have been attended to and everything, and just helping out where he can, and probably asking the engineer questions about how the thing runs, because he isn't sure, but it uses fire.
Yep. Roll an intelligence check to see how well you understand her.
Intelligence. That's a 9.
Okay, you get these are advanced concepts for you. She does explain like so what happens is we superheat water, kind of that's this main engine. It's a steam engine, and it creates a hydraulic system that pushes the entire mechanism forward. That's about as much as you can understand before she gets into the technicals of it. You just basically sums up to fire creates steam creates water pressure, train goes forward with that 9.
He just nods along and just tries to play it like he gets it and just like encouraging her to keep going. He's just like, I don't know what she's actually talking about, but
Roll a deception check. Roll a deception check
she's
for me.
excited
Tesla is
about it.
definitely excited about her craft. She obviously knows what she's talking about.
There you
And the
go.
way
That one I rolled pretty decent. It's a 14.
Yeah. Let me just look at her passive. Oh, she has a 15 passive, so she kind of like smirks, see like what you're trying. She kind of like just goes into kind of like more general stuff, and then not like, eases off of the technicalities for it. She does ask, how are you enjoying this side of reality, being from the Fey realm?
Oh, it's definitely confusing. Well, this is the map that I have, and he'll pull out his map, and I've been told that this is like way out of date. And, like,
Yeah, this is like what? This is the Steel Age?
something like
Two
that.
ages. The hundreds of years have passed. Wow. Wait, did you get this? Well, yeah, this is, you can sell this for probably a nice few amount of silver and get an updated version, unless you want to keep it.
Yeah, he kind of, as she says, sells it. He kind of holds it in closer. Like, I wouldn't.
No, I don't want it. Like, I'm just letting you know, like, it's valuable. It's a piece of history, but it's that dated.
It's also a piece of my history, and so I'd like to keep it.
Yeah, fair enough. And she kind of like starts asking some questions about kind of like the Fey realm, and she starts telling you a little bit about where she grew up here in Aramare, and how she got into her craft, wanting to work especially on cleaner energy and more powerful energy. Awesome. All right, let's go next to APOC. APOC, what is he doing the next 2 to 3 hours?
He'd like to have a conversation with our prisoner.
Okay. You head over there to Fireg, and
Yes.
he looks bored because he's been stuck in the one place, but he hasn't really said anything or done anything abusive or hostile, but he just looks bored as he's just like kind of like unbuckles a little bit of it because it's getting hotter. It's like 80, 85 now inside of the train at this stage.
Mm-hmm. Understand. I I sit down directly in front of him, and I look him in the eye. I explain to him that what's about to happen to him is not personal. I have no emotion associated with it. I explain to him that I'm going to start to hurt him.
Wait, why? I surrendered peacefully.
No, I understand that, but I believe you have information that you're not sharing. I'd like to know who your leader is.
I told you the leader, Abbas, you guys killed him.
Okay. And his leader?
He's his own man.
Who hired you?
Who hired me or who hired him?
You're not making me enjoy what's going to happen to you any less by asking questions like that. You know what my ultimate goal is.
I'm telling you, I don't know. Like, Abbas came to us and said that we're going to work with this lady. She hired us, and that was it. We were supposed to do the train heist, and she was supposed to get some special cargo. That was it. That's all I know.
What was the cargo?
I don't know.
I need you to understand how serious the position you're in is. Because as I said, I don't feel one way or the other about you. But what I will tell you is you, and I say you specifically because you're the only one that I can hold accountable for the actions that your group took. And accountable you will be held. There's children on this train, there's women, innocent people, and you put them in harm's way. I can't have that. So I need you to provide me a reason why I don't start cutting your face off one at a time.
I've been cooperating, and Chance told me that if I surrender, I won't get harmed.
Chance doesn't get a vote.
All right, quick thing. Roll. So I have a question for you. This is the DM asking.
Yes.
Would you have tried to approach this with Chance when she was away, or whatnot? Because Chance would probably intercede at this moment if she's nearby.
If she's nearby, I mean, I'm just trying to take the downtime. He's not trying to go behind her.
Mm-hmm.
He just wants to. What he's trying to do is intimidate him into giving up information.
Yeah. Okay. So a couple things then. Number one, roll a d20. 10 or below, Chance does not come into the room for it. 11 or 20, she does. So let's roll with that. So this is you catching him when Chance is away for the moment.
Okay.
Now roll an insight check for me to see to believe fee rank with what he's saying. Okay. Definitely, before that, then roll one more intimidation check for me. Especially with I'm gonna cut your fingers off.
I'm gonna go ahead and send inspiration.
All right.
Even worse. Okay.
So, okay. It's intimidating. You were still intimidating for it. Perhaps not as much as you. You're very calm. And that's what's kind of like detracting a little bit, which makes it eerie. So it is giving it across, but it's not like that. Either way, you are invoking a lot of like fear and tension in this moment. Erlon,
Yeah.
you had your hand raised?
Quick question. So, am I in the vicinity, like in the area, because I've been just standing guard with this guy the whole time? Like, can I hear this
I would say
conversation
if
going
you
on?
want to be. Yeah, if you want to be, you can be part of this.
Okay.
Unless you were approaching it also when Erlon was away.
Absolutely not. Erlon's. I trust Erlon.
Okay. So in that case, if Erlon kind of hears that, I'm gonna let Fearank know about like I'm just literally gonna say, so like you don't understand this guy. I saw him literally stab a person, and the right just went, poof. All right, like you gotta tell him what's going on.
I'm telling him everything I know. That's where the 15 insight would come in for you, APOC. He seems to be very truthful. Everything he's saying is thus far truthful. But you can keep on pressing him if you want, but you can kind of tell you're scaring him, and rightfully so, but he may not necessarily have the information you're looking for.
One last question, and this question is very, very important. I cannot stress how important this question is. Where would I find? Where was you? Where do you know where your leader met this woman?
I think in Ardita.
The 16 blesses you today because we're going to let you continue.
And the whole especially when you said you're gonna cut off his finger, his hands are kind of like clenched in fists, not in rage, but just like kind of like pulling away from you a little bit. He's like, Yeah, I think I'm very lucky to be alive.
Not for me to say. I stand up and I go over and I speak to Erlon and basically tell him I don't think he's being deceptive with us.
I agree. He's been kind of lost this whole time I've been watching him. He doesn't even seem like he poses a threat, even with the bandana on.
Well, even a rattlesnake can be deadly after it's dead. So just be careful.
Taken.
You're a good man. I wish we would have had more like you and the bunnies. So, okay. Clap him on the shoulder and I move on.
The bunny.
Super confused.
Yeah, which is an appropriate response for it. Awesome. Yeah, definitely APOC is bringing all the intimidation for it. I totally approve of.
Thank you.
All right, let's go. Actually, the next one is Erlon. Erlon, you just witnessed that and you just heard something about bunnies. What else would you be doing these next like 2-3 hours?
So probably end with the nap that I took, but like for the short rest. But basically, beforehand was really just kind of standing guard, but almost having the feeling of like almost temptation to say, of wanting to kind of step away from the whole situation and kind of recollect myself, but kind of almost constantly repeating what APOC said the whole time, like that I'm a necessity, that I'm of use here. So kind of resisting that urge to a certain degree, and really was just watching, standing guard of B rank for a while, getting bored myself, and then obviously saw the whole situation, and then probably would take the short rest afterwards.
Excellent. All right. If nothing else, let's go then to Alice. Alice, you wake up after an hour, slowly coming to, and you see Zanny is in front of you. If you want, you can have a conversation with her right now, or time soup what else you would be doing in the next 2 to 3 hours.
When she comes to, I just can't imagine Alice as a calm waker upper. All that elegance and grace, she has to have some Hamartia. So when she comes to a more, like, just reaches over and grips Zanny's hand as she just opens her eyes a little bit and jumps, and she just out of nowhere goes, "Don't you dare get in that little person!" And then she like looks around and she's like, "Oh, I'm sorry. I thought for a moment I saw some. Never mind. You're not in danger." And she's gonna
and neither are you.
She's gonna like pat her sides. I'm guessing she's got a bandage on her.
Oh yeah, she's stitched up.
Yeah. And I
Don't
suppose I
move
have
around too
you to
much.
thank for that.
Yeah, don't move around a whole lot, okay? You need to still kind of take it easy for another day or so.
Just sit up slowly and start like fishing around for her bag. And when she like reaches inside and she's gonna pull out like 10 silver and just like hand it to you.
No, it's okay.
You saved my life. I mean, this is hardly enough money. It's just whatever I grabbed in my hand.
And
Would you like more?
do it. No, I services are free, honey. I make my money elsewhere.
I mean, can you take at least 5 to at least, make me feel better?
If it'll make you feel better, I'll take 5.
Thank you. And she's just gonna push the like 5 coins into her hand and close her hand around it and then make sure she takes it.
She does. Takes it and puts it away in her pocket.
As much as I appreciate the charity, I've never been one to, well, appreciate charity.
It's not a moral obligation. It's a professional obligation. I don't charge for services rendered, but I do take gifts.
Thank you for saving my life, for what it's worth.
well, it's worth saving.
Where did we put my dress? I kind of don't remember much.
Oh, it's right over there. I can't patch it up yet. I'm sorry, but it's right over there. If you want to get dressed, and I just will stay until you got like.
Kasan, how long do my clothes take to start fixing themselves? Is it like a long rest kind of thing, or is it just gradually over time?
Let me double check your character sheet for it. Let me see. Just want to read the thing because it is self-preparing, but the question is now short rest or long rest.
Awesome.
As D&D Beyond loads.
Well, see, would you consider getting shot daily wear and tear?
In our line of duty.
I mean, for an adventurer.
Yeah, it's pretty daily wear and tear.
It'll take a few, but then it'll start to break down, I'm guessing. Magically mends itself to counteract daily wear and tear. So it'll take a long rest, I'll say.
It'll take a long rest, okay.
Yeah.
It's
So it's
definitely
already
not...
cleaned. It doesn't
Yeah.
look dirty anymore, but there's a hole.
Yeah.
I just, as I look back to it, I'm like, that was. Is your dress putting itself back together?
I mean, what kind of lady would I be if I traveled without clothes that could mend themselves with no tailor? I mean, there's certainly no tailor out here in the desert, now is there?
I mean, no, there's not. That is amazing.
Oh, it's wonders what a little gold and silver will get you.
Now, if only it had fucking pockets.
Well, I will have to speak to my tailor when I get back home, because that is the first thing I believe I will add. I learned that it is a necessity. This bag can't hold everything.
Give me your measurements. I'll get you one from the Rhea. They make them with pockets in them.
She's gonna switch to Rian, but she's going to say, "Oh, you're from the Rhea? My cauliflower home peanuts from there."
Oh, Hannah. Cauliflower peanuts?
Do you respond to that in common or in real?
I come back with in common. Cauliflower peanuts?
I'm sorry. My parents are Rian, and they tried to teach me the language, but I am a little bit better at understanding it than I am speaking it. The conjugations and the verbs and the sentence structure, it's
a lot. It's a lot. It's a fucking complicated language. Learning Aramaic was so much easier.
Honestly, I wish I was a little bit more well steeped. It's awfully, oafish of me to walk around with my Rian counterparts and I sound like cauliflower and peanuts.
Well, in your defense, you really don't have that much of an accent, though. It's just you just got to work on the inflections a little bit. It's not too bad.
Well, I mean, we seem to be stuck here for a while, so if you're ever not busy tending to people's medical things, perhaps we could have a bit of a conversation in Rian.
I would
jog
love
my
that
memory
very
a little
much.
bit.
That'd be nice. I've got some books in Rian too, if you'd want to take a look too.
I'd love that. It's been a while since I've read anything but Aramaic.
I think I still got my favorite one with me. I do, now that you're awake. It'd be good if I went and took a look at the rest of the passengers. You were kind of the number one priority, but now that you're awake, I'd make sure everybody else is good too.
I hope you won't object to me perhaps getting a little bit of a celebration I'm not dead drink.
Don't have to. I'm not going to tell you don't drink because, you're going to do what you want, honey. But I would highly suggest, as the person who treated you, that you do not consume a significant amount of alcohol.
Significant is relative, so I'll not consume significant for me.
I start to hold up one, and then I just take one long, hard look at you, and I'm like, 2 before bed, 2.
2 an hour.
2 before bed. Before bed. We'll talk again in the morning, and if you're doing good, then whatever. But please, for my sanity's sake, 2 before you go to sleep tonight.
2. I will limit it to 2.
Thank you, sweetheart. I appreciate that.
She's gonna wait till Zanny leaves to put her clothes back on.
Yeah.
And then she's gonna go get her 2 gosh darn drinks immediately.
All right, immediately.
In a pitcher.
Oh yeah, they're gonna be two bottles. Actually, she's going to purchase
Yeah.
2 bottles.
Yeah, I did not specify the size of these drinks.
No.
I just specified the number of them.
2.
Awesome. Yeah, you go and you speak to Helene, the green-haired elf, and she's like, "Are you doing okay?"
Oh yes, I feel fantastic now. Actually,
Okay. I'm glad to hear that. We're all worried for a bit.
my doctor has instructed me to only drink 2 before bed, so I will have 2 bottles and whatever you want to give me.
2 bottles. Okay.
Bottles.
I will oblige, and she gets the 2 bottles for you. Is there
Alice is
anything
not-
else? Oh,
No,
but-
she's just gonna pour a glass. She's not gonna drink the whole 2 bottles. She's just getting them because you never know when the train is gonna crash again, and they may break the bar next time.
In fact, she actually doesn't know like your preference for a moment, so she actually gives you a wine bottle first.
Oh, Alice just lets it sit there, and she goes, "No, I wanted liquor, not water."
Oh, okay. You take the wine bottle and replaces it with some liquor. Any other RP you want to do, Alice?
She's just gonna sit there and kind of look out the window over the desert. Probably write that letter that was her journal inspiration from last session.
Perfect. All right. Let's continue on then with Zanny, because you rolled the 4. But what is Zanny doing after the conversation with Alice?
During that hour, I took that hour that she was out. I took my short rest, and I had just wrapped up right before she woke up. I had just wrapped up making a salve that I was going to use on her, and then she started awake, so I did not need to. So, I'm going to spend the next couple of hours checking on pretty much every other passenger personally. Like anybody that wants a medical examination is going to get one in the next couple of hours.
Okay.
And I'm going to ask the conductor to if I can borrow like a private room to set up, just for a few hours, just so that we can make sure everybody is okay.
Okay.
Lance would tell you could have his room.
There we go.
Great. So, question for you: Are you just want to make sure to know how exactly you're pitching this? Are you telling the conductor to go around letting them know if you need medical attention to come to you, or are you going to them individually?
I'm gonna go around for the first just 20 minutes and just introduce myself to people randomly. Not even every person, just randomly. Probably try to stick with smaller folk and children. And then after I do that, then I'm going to come to the conductor with letting him know this, now that they know who I am, if anybody wants stuff, I'm going to go set up a short-term doctor's office in Lance's room.
Okay. Roll for me. What's your charisma and what's your persuasion?
My charisma is 14. My persuasion is 2, because that's it. That's all
Okay.
my persuasion is. It's just raw.
They're one and the same. Okay. Roll 8 persuasion checks, please.
8.
Yes.
Wow.
You're
This is
introducing
gonna be
yourself to the
great.
entire train.
Yes, I am.
So-
For the next ones, I'm just going to do these at advantage, but just for the sake of rolling 2 at the same time.
Okay.
And then our last.
So 19, 6, 13, 13, and then what are the last 2?
There we
12
go.
and 19. All right, all without.
Okay.
Yeah, that's good. You only one person kind of was a little standoffish about it all. Everyone else, because DC was just 10. Because doctor, free medical. not a lot of people will be like, oh, how dare you approach me? And it's
Oh
like,
yeah, and also to stress that the medical service is free of charge.
Yeah, that's what I said. DC was just a 10 of hey, you okay? Hi, my name is Dr. Zanny. If you need anything, let me know. only one person was a little standoffish, just probably because he was just overwhelmed at the things and just like morally outraged that all this happened. And I'll say it was this guy, the guy in the white suit and with the gold filigree, long black hair.
I'm kind of okay with that.
Just like
I'm kind of okay
If
with
he
that.
wasn't morally outraged, I think we would all be upset.
Yeah, no, I'm kind of okay with that. And also, I'm also approaching everybody else here and letting them know the same thing. As I've gone and introduced myself to everybody else, then I'd like stick my head in. Anybody needs help? I'm setting up in Lance's.
Yeah. The first person to ask for your help is definitely like the two sisters. One of them, the older sister, definitely looks much more banged up with things. She kind of like is wearing like a little bit of a fine blue dress, the red ribbon, necklace, earrings, and glasses, and long black hair, really bright red lips and such. She looks hurt with things, but she's more insistent on you looking over and taking care of her sister, her younger sister, who's a little shorter, has like kind of like brown shoulder length hair with what used to be was it still is a nice hat and a nice white and laced or brown dress with white laces all over it. So that would be like your first patient for it.
I understand the family protection idea, so I want to check on the older one first, but I check on the younger one first because I know that's not a fight I want to start.
Yep. Introducing yourselves to them, you learn a little bit more about it. The older sister's name is Dasha, and her younger sister name is Rain. They were supposed to be going to visit their grandparents in the town for it.
How are those spelled? Dasha and Rain?
Dasha is Dawsha, and then Rain Rein.
Okay.
Last name Durney, Durney, which I'll also post in the character chat, or the NPC section for Discord.
Thank you. I've got my my lab book out, and the front is it starts from the front with the alchemical formula, and then it starts from the back with patient notes.
Okay.
So
yeah,
I flip it to the back, and I start taking patient notes for these two. Yep,
and you take a lot of good patient notes with everyone else. There's a priestess, or like a person who was going to be going to Jedna to kind of finish her clerical training. Her name is Amelia. Again, all of this will be put in there, but we're just like doing the highlights, especially because it's like next 2 to 3 hours. They're kind of like, it's starting to become a blur a little bit to you. A couple of noblemen. One is Jericho, kind of like brown hair with a little bit of a goatee for it, red and black clothing and such, dark skin, tannish skin. He seems a little not as like bad, but he's like a little bit down to business. Seems a little dour with the whole situation. Worried that they're not going to make it, but still not panicking for it. The other individual, the one that he was talking to earlier, also another nobleman they both were in the private cart with the drinks and such. He's wearing kind of like a dark green vestments for it, the blue collar, and he has kind of like hazel green eyes for it. There was one girl who was held hostage. She has a little bit of a bump on her head just from like the pistol being pushed onto her temple, onto the side of her head, but she's cleared very quickly, wearing a blue dress, gold hair, that you find out her name is Emily for it. You meet the Ice Geniekin. She introduces herself as Glacier. You find out very quickly she's not even from this realm. She is from the Ice Dominion. And she just recently traveled into Tellos, and she doesn't give you a lot of other information for it, but she definitely is worried about kind of like this is just like her first instance of travel using just the local transportation system. The other one is a fae. She gives you a name, doesn't promise you that
a name,
actual name.
Yeah. It doesn't. I write it down, but I know what it is. I know it's not
Penelope. That's what she uses.
Penelope. And I do put quotes around it.
Yeah. The elf is named Thoron. He basically very little, also standoffish, doesn't really want to give a lot of medical information or even his last name in anything. But he says that he's fine. He just was like, he introduces, and when you introduce yourself, he says like, "Hi, Thoron. Thank you for."
When he gets standoffish, I make sure to offer that like anything that he doesn't want also notated doesn't get written down.
Yeah. And then the half elf near the back, his name is Lawrence. He also starts talking to you in Rian, and you could kind of strike up a conversation. His family is from the Ria. He came here during the his family came during the economic recession and was made their fortune. For him, he works in kind of like a music store over in Jeddah.
Did you say your name is Lawrence?
Yes, Lawrence.
Well, no kidding. My butler's name's Lawrence.
Oh, that's an interesting thing.
He's a lovely fella. Big flying ball of jelly.
Wait, what?
Mhm.
Has he ball of jelly?
Yeah. It's one of those what do they call them? I'm searching for the common word. Flump. That's it, flump.
I'm very, very confused.
You know what a jellyfish is?
Yes,
One of those, but it can fly.
that sounds terrifying.
It's actually kind of cool.
Okay. He kind of seems a little bit more frightened at that idea, but because
I'm more giddy.
They don't know.
Yep.
The boys, you find out that they are Aladdin and Ali. They are visiting their parents, or not visiting. They were going to go see their their father specifically, joint custody between father and mother for it. The nanny with it does introduce herself as Firia Garg, and she is a gnome, and she speaks to you in Gnomish.
Feria Garg.
Yes.
You named after the Empress, or
Oh,
former one?
in the Rian.
Yeah, the Rian.
Yeah.
Former. You named her?
Yeah,
Huh. Small world.
I think a lot of people are named Firia after what happened with Sindane. With
Yeah. A lot of them.
Yeah, a lot of Firias, a lot of Rips, a lot of Xantars, a lot of Vals.
Yeah. Zanny.
Oh, hello, Sani.
Yeah. My family thought it'd be neat to name me after Xantar. Zanny.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, Xantar, Zanny. Yep.
Yeah, that's. There's a lot of them, at least from the Ria. The name has started to bleed over here into Aramir.
The names are going everywhere. It happened 200 years ago. I mean, come on.
It's still a lot of for us, because she's also a gnome. She's like, for us, I mean, it's still a single lifetime.
Yeah, you're right. Anyway.
But so you introduce yourselves, and then you set up shop and start treating patients. Awesome. There are other passengers off the map, but in with it, you introduce yourself and work with them as well. Let's see. Lance, what is Lance doing the next 2 to 3 hours?
At some point, Lance is gonna go sit over here and talk to Ferenc.
He seems very, very like scared when you come sit by him. He's like, "You're not gonna threaten to cut my fingers off, are you?"
No.
Okay.
I was just gonna ask if you wanted a cigarette.
Yeah, I will absolutely take you up on that offer.
Because most of these people don't look like they would smoke.
I will definitely.
And it's never fun to smoke alone.
Yeah.
He pulls out a cigarette and hands one to him, and he takes one himself. And he lights his finger and uses them to light the.
Both of them, yeah. He doesn't have lighter. Okay.
I figured.
Lousy skeleton with no fingers.
He didn't say that out loud, but he was thinking it.
Yeah, he is very happy to smoke a cigarette for it, and just like, oh, what a day.
Oh yeah, that's what happens when you travel.
Yeah. Everywhere
mean-
I go, I feel like nothing pans out the way I think it's gonna pan out.
Yeah, I know the feeling. Tell me a little bit about yourself. What'd you do before all this? I'm assuming you weren't always a bandit, unless you were born a bandit. Are you from a family of bandits?
No. And you see him kind of like sigh because it's the fourth time he's having to explain his story for it. Basically.
Lance will just be like, you can give me the short version.
Okay, so he kind of explains it. He's like, grew up, tried to become a wizard, failed my classes, couldn't get a scholarship, failed those, worked at a port, and like he goes through the whole thing of like worked at a port, wanted to be working on a sky ship, couldn't do that, tried to be a sky pirate, turned out I was afraid of heights, then went over to Erdita, tried to start a business, couldn't do it there, lost all my money, tried gambling, lost more money with the red dune bandanas, then bought his debt and said that he can work it off and make more money being a bandit.
I see. So, if your boss is dead and all your friends are dead, does that mean your debt's dead? Or are you going to pretend to be dead and change your identity?
I think I'm going to pretend to be dead because at least one of them survived. So...
Yeah, where's he going?
I don't know.
Where's the hideout?
The boat.
The boat? You guys just move on the boat?
Yeah. And kind of like, yeah, with like a puff of smoke from his mouth as he says that. Like,
do you have a way to like signal him, like a smoke signal or something?
They never taught me it.
Man, they really didn't like you. You were probably supposed to die. Like if they were expecting somebody to die, they were probably going to use you.
Like it really is rubbing me the wrong way. Like I thought they were going to be my new friends.
Yeah. Friends come and go.
He just starts puffing on the cigarette.
At this point, he'll like reach over and pull out Sheldon and just set him on the so he can walk around because he's been in his pocket for a while.
He reckons like, and just like at the undead skull, and Sheldon just looks at him, kind of tilts his head a little, and just goes, and then just starts walking around.
Yeah, he needs to stretch his legs, otherwise they light up, and then you have to go in and like break the joints so that he can. It's a lot of work to maintain a undead skeleton turtle, but he's cute.
If you honestly say so.
Yeah, well, you aren't missing anything by not becoming a wizard. It's pretty overrated.
Well, I mean, they're supposed to be able to get all this money. There's that ability to work, like honest work and whatnot, whatever you want. At one point, I was like, oh yeah, I can do things, move things with my mind and such.
Did you learn anything, even a cantrip?
No, couldn't do any. I flunked out of school and they wouldn't even teach me a cantrip. Couldn't even get one of those tutors.
All right, let me see your hand.
He kind of like pulls away.
I just want to see if there's any trace of magic in your hand, because I was going to teach you a cantrip while we're sitting here, because we got nothing else to do until this train starts moving.
Okay. He kind of like very hesitant about it, reaches over, offers you his hand.
And Lance will show him the light spell on his hand.
He tries it. Nothing works.
Well, we got time. We'll practice.
And you would know, being a wizard, that it's not just about, especially being a wizard, you need to know the formulas, the spells, even if you're thinking of it, or like if it's semantic or verbal, you need to know all the different components and understand the weave and how to do it. Not unless he's a sorcerer, it would just happen, but he would need to study the light cantrip for...
I'm well aware. I'm just keeping him entertained and entertaining myself because I find it funny that he can't do it. Because Lance is kind of a jerk.
That's fine.
But he is going to just keep talking to him about it and trying to get him to really loosen up about everything and see if you can get any more details, if you heard a name or anything slip of the lady.
And yeah, he tells you he doesn't have any other details. He just knew Abbas told him basically to listen and we're going to rob a train and then become rich.
Well, whatever happens, if to you after this, if you ever need a friend, come find me and I'll do what I can to, maybe we'll see if we can get you a job with my family or something, or in the future.
All right. Yes, I feel like I'm going to need a new job, a new identity, everything.
Yeah, even if you get killed or something, just come find me and we'll take care of you.
Wait, if I get killed, how am I finding you?
Ghost?
Wait, the ghosts are real?
Yeah. You've never seen a ghost?
He kind of like shakes his head.
You don't even see the one that's behind you?
Ah!
I'm
How
just kidding.
loudly are they talking?
Loudly.
Yeah.
Lance is being loud at this point, trying to mess with him.
Yeah, and anyone else can interject in here.
Alice is going to look up to see if there actually is legitimately a ghost behind this guy.
Roll a perception check.
Where did I? Oh, there it is. Sorry, I have 1,000 things open right now. Oh, hold on. I want to use my other inspiration, please.
Okay. So I think that's your third
It's
one?
worse.
Okay.
No, that was my second one.
Second one. Got it. So now you have your birthday luck points left.
Yeah. I blind so.
All right. With a 9 or a 6, unless you want to use one of those birthday luck points.
What are my birthday luck points?
Oh, just roll one more reroll.
You basically get 3 extra
Essentially-
rerolls.
You have the
essentially
lucky-
you have the lucky feet for a week. Yeah.
Oh.
I
So-
can't see anything. I'm just.
You don't. So you think that Lance is just pulling a joke.
Wow. Do you have the luck fee even?
Oh, those roll 9, 6, 7. Yeah.
The dice are like, we're speaking to you right now. Listen.
I said no. All right.
And either way, Lance, after he's done laughing, he's like, no, but seriously, if you do die and you become a ghost, come find me. I have a job for you. If that happens.
Sure. Great.
It's
Alright,
more than
let's-
likely you're just gonna wander the plains forever, a little bit lost.
That sounds terrifying.
It's horrible.
Honestly,
Again.
at least you didn't die in the battle, because then you would have ended up somewhere
Either that or
worse.
stuck on this train forever because you had some unfinished business, aka living on this train.
What?
Well, I mean, like, you could have gone to, like you died in a fight and you were all like, war, then you go to Acheron. You know, I mean, you weren't, let's be honest, robbing trains is the most heroic deaths. You wouldn't go to, like, I don't know, any of the upper planes.
He just started to have like a mild panic attack.
You
I
know
think
what
you'd-
you should do when you get back? Go pray to the 16 and see if they can provide guidance for your life.
I might do that. Switching scenes then. Last for it. Zanny, as you were walking about, checking on people, you do notice at one point, Chance goes back to the back cart, and you're there as you see her collecting her things and such. And she kind of like sits there and starts like writing, and looking at kind of like one of her notes and writing in it. Do you approach her as she does this or no?
Yeah, like done with everybody. I'm actually just looking for a seat to go put my own butt in now for maybe a nap of my own.
Yeah.
and
You have-
and I, yeah,
Sorry, I was gonna say you have your
Yeah.
office set up kind of like in Lance's room for it,
yeah,
but you can definitely kind of like take away from the office to be in a different space.
yeah. I've been in there for a few hours. My hands are shaking a little bit. I'm kind of done for a minute. So I just take a breath and walk out of the room, and I see her working on that, and I just kind of and go over and just plop down in the seat next to her and look over and be like, "What you working on, honey?"
Just something I've been a project. I feel like I don't know this equation. I was thinking about it before the train heist.
Equation? Is it mathematics of some kind, or arcane? Or...
Something like that. Sorry, just really distracted by it.
Can I take a look?
Sure, just let me finish this one part for it.
Okay.
Because the way the riddle says, and she reaches forward with her pen and writes something. And then suddenly the book begins to glow. Not supposed to. And then there's a blinding flash of light, and there's a burst of energy, cooling energy, and Chance suddenly vanishes as there's a flash of light, and then it kind of like swallows her up, and she disappears.
I just fly back in my seat. What the 16?
Penelope and Glacier are all there, like, what just happened?
Okay. Okay. What the fuck was that? I reach into my bag and pull out like this antique book and just start flipping through it. Just like, maybe something like that's in here? I don't know. But shit. And then I close it and put it back in my bag and I start running. It's like, God, fuck, I gotta go tell them.
Arcana check.
I have a where's it at? Arcana. Gotcha. Not advantage you. Thank you. Oh, fuck me.
Yeah. You have no idea what just happened.
No, I look through. I get really frustrated really fast, and then I realize I'm the only person. Like, there's like 3 people that know what the fuck just happened. And I just slam the book shut, shove it back in my bag, and I go running for the other people. Like for specifically, I go running for APOC.
Okay. Before that, roll a quick insight check.
Oh, this is gonna be great. Oh wow, really will be.
Yeah. Surprisingly, the ice geniekin looks like not shocked, but just looks curious for the moment. Do you still go running?
I get like 10 feet down the hall, and like it's one of those things of I clock it, and then it's like 10, 15 feet down the hall before I like, wait, you have an idea, don't you?
I think that was a plane shift.
You think it could have been one of them wild magic things?
I don't know. She was working on that book. Maybe something in that book.
Maybe, yeah. Okay. Well, that's new. That's what the fuck? I gotta go tell the others.
Okay. The glacier just like.
For now, don't tell people back there yet. We don't need people freaking out yet till we figure out what the heck just happened.
Lip sealed.
Okay, thank you. And I just bolt.
Yeah. RP wise, you guys are able to gather right as dusk is settling in, and it's freeform. Zanny, what do you tell them?
As soon as I can, I just run up to APOC. Very first thing, Chance just fucking disappeared. Just writing in her book about something about an equation, thing starts glowing. Next thing you know, big old blast of cold air, and she's fucking gone.
Okay. Sounds like a plane shift to me. No, I'm totally kidding.
Did the book go with her?
Yeah.
Did she say goodbye?
No, I don't think it was supposed to happen. I don't think it was expected. She was saying something along the lines of, like that wasn't supposed to, and then poof, gone.
Okay.
So that's new.
Are we sure that she's not still on the train? That maybe she went to a different part of the train?
I really hope she's not still on the train, because if so, one of the people on the other car had a theory, and pretty solid one. She might have gone to a different plane, and I just hope she's not on the car if she's in another plane, because that'd be bad. Anyway, she's probably not here anymore at all. We should get everybody.
Right.
Oh boy, will you help me gather everybody up?
Whistle? No, I can't. No. Yeah. Let's get everybody together.
Yeah.
All right.
Where do you want to powwow? Alice's room?
I mean, the bar sounds good.
Yeah, Erlon, you had your hand raised?
Yeah, quick question. So, like, before we had the whole heist situation and everything, I did like take a look at her book when I signed it. Did I catch anything specific, or just looked like a normal book to me?
It looked like a normal book for it.
Okay.
All intents and purposes, it did not look anything magical. A lot of it was like inserted notes and pages on it. It looked like very much like a used notebook at certain parts.
Okay, gotcha. Okay, cool.
But Erlon could also be suspicious now because he just signed a magic book? Question mark.
I did.
Yeah.
Wait, did he sign it Erlon or did he sign it Big Red?
That was Big Red.
Okay, there we go.
Yeah, that was an autograph.
Awesome. You all gather about in the bar cart. Thankfully, it's not getting hotter anymore because of the fact that it is now dusk and it is starting to become nighttime for it. But you all gather about, and what is the group doing or saying?
I'm passing around my liquor bottles, making sure everybody gets a good little nightcap to really just ease the pain from the day.
I'll grab my cup and have a drink myself.
So Chance is gone. Is that what you're saying?
She
Gone.
left? Where'd she go?
That's the question.
What color was the light?
Kind of there was a yellow glow? Yellow glow from the book, right?
A whitish glow.
A whitish glow from the book.
And you said it was cold?
Yeah, and there was this big burst of cold. So if it was plane shift, she probably went to the plane ice or water or something like that. Well, that'd probably be pretty wet if it was water.
I was more concerned if she's a devilkin, and if it was hot, then I'd say she's in the hells.
Certainly she should be okay if that's the case then, no?
Not necessarily. If she was being called in for the blood war, but the fact that she wasn't called to... Well, there are ice devils.
Did it seem like it was on purpose?
Oh, absolutely not. She was working on something. She was talking about some kind of equation going on, and then big bright flash of light, like she got something figured out, and there was a flash of light and a burst of cold. And
did anybody see her doing magic?
I didn't.
I saw her, talking to that fee rank fella and pushing him down the hallway a little bit and getting him out of the fight. But that's all I saw her do.
Erlon, you would remember that she did inspire you. Go ahead.
She did. Okay. Yeah, she did inspire me. Correct. Was that the only thing she did those that was like magical?
She also did cutting words.
Okay.
For it. So both, you'd be familiar enough because it's level 1 or no, it's a level 0 thing.
Okay.
I would say it's within your knowledge if you want it to be that you would know that those are things bards would do.
Okay. So I just share that with the group of what happened during the heist.
Okay.
Well, I don't know if that answers more questions or not, because if she was a wizard and she accidentally solved a spell and plane shifted somewhere random.
Or if she was a sorcerer and had some kind of wild blood in her.
Right, but if she's just a bard.
What do you mean, just a bard?
Yeah, what do you mean just a bard?
What do you mean just a bard?
Yeah, what do you
If
mean
she was a
just bard?
sorcerer and she was wild magicking, that would explain it. If she was a wizard and was working on a new spell and accidentally messed it up, that would explain it. The fact that she is neither of those and her magic is she's a bard doesn't answer either of the questions.
Bards can mess things up too.
That's true, they can.
Hardly. I've not messed one thing up in my life.
Except for your
Perhaps-
dress.
And getting on this train.
She
That
did
wasn't
say
a mis-
before. Sorry, she did say before though that she was going to see someone at Jeddah. So I don't think she did it on purpose at all.
So her plan was to go to Jeddah, and this is okay.
May I
Processing
posit a
a lot.
question? What purpose is this speculation? What are we going to accomplish with this speculation?
I mean,
we're still trying to pass time.
it's
The train's not moving.
My thought process is if she went somewhere we could help her, then I was going to try to. But the more we're talking, the more it sounds like she's somewhere well out of any of our kin.
But perhaps she's somewhere safe now. Perhaps someone wanted her to go there.
I hope so.
Not a coward. She wouldn't run.
I just hope she's safe.
You guys notice Lance have a thought and then shake it off and then have the same thought and then just reach over and stick his head in his bag for a second and then just close it and not say anything.
There's a little bit of frosting on Lance.
Oh,
Did you think she went in your bag?
Well, you said cold, and my bag keeps things cold, so maybe she teleported to the nearest demi-plane, and that would be in my bag.
Oh, it's one of them. We got one of them bags. Oh, okay, that's neat.
Did you find
I
her?
don't think she'd fit.
Did I buy it?
No, did you find her?
Oh, no, she was not in there.
He also probably could not see.
Yeah, I can't see in the dark, but she wasn't in there.
I can see in
Actually,
the
I guess
dark.
if I stick my hand in there and reach for her, if she's in there, I'll pull her out.
I can't see your hand. Okay, there we go. So
He sticks his hand in. Nothing.
Nope.
She's not in there. Unless one of you has a bag of cold too.
No,
I'm
just
pretty sure she didn't end up in a bag of any of our bags.
yeah.
What
I
if
don't
it
think
was
that's what happened?
What if it was a bag man?
I mean, it was worth following up on, but it doesn't seem like she's gone into any of our bags.
At that moment, Hessa kind of opens the door and she's dripping with sweat. You can see she's covered in grime, grease, and soot. And she just goes and gets a glass of water, straight, not as much water as she can, just chugs it all, and just she's all right, back to the grind, and just goes back.
Does what's her name have ice?
For you mean the bartender?
Yeah.
Yes, she would have ice. Yep.
Okay. I just making sure she was getting ice water and not warm water because then I was going to give her something colder, but
Yeah, she's getting ice water and she's just like drinking as much as she can and going back to work,
Okay.
replacing it. Like she's made already multiple trips getting like the supplies from the back of the train to the front of the train, and now has been working on it for several hours.
And what time of day is it?
It's right now about 7, almost 8 o'clock.
Have the passengers eaten? Do we want to?
Yeah, it's about time we start whipping up some dinner for people.
Yep. There would be a dining cart in the back, near the back, that was for like the economic class, for the economy class for the coach. They can start eating that, as you guys can also have that, start rationing it out for it all.
Alice, you also need to eat food.
I wasn't planning to waste away entirely. I'm not that much of a drunk, you know.
Are you sure about that?
Yes, she's sure.
Yes,
Have
I'm
some
sure.
respect, Lance. She's undergone some trauma.
We have a great dynamic that would start it, and if I changed it now, she would feel like I was coddling her, and she wouldn't like me anymore.
I'm
Say I
not.
liked you to begin with.
Yeah, I'm not entirely sure she likes you right now.
Yeah. No. Who are you again?
I haven't told anybody my name.
Yeah, that's what you guys actually haven't, like, half of you introduced yourselves, the other half has not.
Oh, I am Lance All Black Sands of the Black Sands.
Do I recognize that name?
Roll a history check. Okay, I'm gonna send you a message privately, Alice. But
Okay.
continue on with everything else with conversations.
I forgot what city I was from. I would say that too, and I'm. What was it?
Timosh.
Timosht. My family's from Timosht.
Timosh. There's like a Q.
Timoshk.
There you go. But yeah, you guys can continue on. I'm just messaging privately.
Yeah, and I don't know a thing. I definitely don't know that name.
Nope. It would be entirely easy for you because you're not from around.
That that brings up a point. We don't actually know all of each other's names. Perhaps we should probably do a round of introductions, huh? I'm Dr. Xanashar Glory Song.
Does that name ring a bell to Lance?
Give me 1 second.
Sounds furiously typing.
Yeah, I'll give you more information, Looney, in a moment. For Lance, roll a history check. Nope.
No.
Can I use my inspiration to see if I know that name?
Go
You
ahead.
son of a gun.
Ooh.
I'll send you a message too, but guys can continue thinking, because it might take a while as you think about it, like trying to remember all what you know.
As I just introduced myself, I just naturally kind of look over Erlon's way, not like almost kind of like just a silent prompt to be like, "Why don't you next, big fella?"
Well, have you guys heard of Big Red?
I mean, I've seen him.
I can't say that I have.
I feel like I've heard that name like 100 times today.
Have I actually heard of Big Red? I don't think I have.
Well, I'm him. I'm Big Red. Kind of like a known fighter, kind of. Been around quite a bit. And I'm Big Red.
Did you do any fighting down south?
I did actually. Not specifically fighting, but I did live down south in the Rian area, more in like the Bedlands.
Oh, okay. I'm from Silver City.
Big
Okay,
red,
I know
huh?
it's still asleep. You know.
Yeah, I'm way down south. I'm a long way from home now.
Yeah, me, I don't really want to go back home. I have no intention of going back home, and I kind of would just want to keep going around and finding a new place to fight, but also just finding a new place to belong.
You probably catch, she doesn't say anything, but you probably catch a hint of recognition in that sentiment and respect in Zanny's eyes.
Oh,
And also, as Big Red started saying this, you see M reaches down into one of his satchels and he pulls out his pipe and pulls out a special little plant that he puts into the pipe. And just as Big Red's talking, he's slowly starting to heat the pipe up, and he's going to, once it gets hot enough, he's going to. So, Big Red, you say you're a big time fighter and you've fought a bunch of impressive fights, huh? I've seen the move that you pulled earlier, and that was pretty impressive. And I would like to see what the flames say about it. And he'll kind of offer you over the pipe that is now just kind of smoking and looks like it's probably hot to the touch.
I will quickly embrace it, and then thank him for noticing my style of combat for sure. And then as I do so, as I take a good puff of the pipe, I am totally gonna find any place that I can, like a little piece of paper or something, to sign an autograph and hand it over to him.
Awesome. And then so what I just gave you is you just took a puff on the pipe of remembrance. So as you exhale, it just starts to be like far more smoke than you would expect, and it just starts kind of filling the area. And over the next about 10 minutes, it slowly the smoke starts to form and kind of reenact your most heroic or impressive moment.
God.
Heroic and impressive.
So
Which
what is
definitely
Big Red's most heroic or impressive moment?
So is this something that everybody is going to see?
Yeah, it just
DM.
forms in the smoke cloud in front of us.
Oh, this is gonna be rough. So it's not gonna be the most of heroic times. I'd say it'd probably be the worst of times, because that's one of those ones that sticks with me more than anything. I don't want to tell you.
I would say it's about also most impressive. So it would have hints of it, but I mean, in your mind, what would they be one of the most impressive deeds?
Okay.
So it doesn't have to be like traumatic.
Okay, good. All right, good. Thank God.
Because it says the heroic or impressive.
Yeah, it says it reenacts
It's
the
dramatic.
player's most impressive and heroic achievements.
Yeah, and it's a combination,
Okay.
impressive and heroic, not impressive or heroic, or yeah. So me lawyering, something positive.
In all honesty, unfortunately, it will be the one thing you did see, because I'm not as impressive as you may think I am. I just think of it in my head. But it would be that amazing kind of flip off of the rooftop of the train and ending the leader. So yeah.
Well, now the rest of the group sees that too now.
Yeah. You guys see the reenactment splitting the head.
And M, as it kind of plays out, M will just kind of nod and says, "That's impressive indeed, but what I'm really reading from the story that the flames are telling here is that you've plenty more stories to come.
I'd like to hope so. That's kind of the reason why I'm going from one place to another, to find my way, but also find fame and many other things, for sure. Yeah.
I think Erland set such a level for himself that the things that we would consider impressive, he considers ordinary.
I'd agree.
Indeed. It is a
Whenever
matter
you're-
of perspective.
Whenever you're big and famous and you need mass autograph books produced to sign every person in the Aramir Empire's autograph, I can hook you up with the best paper you'll find in the entire empire.
You can't sign autographs without paper.
You cannot. And
It's true.
you want nothing but the best for your people.
You're right. You're right.
She's
Do
gonna
you-
she's gonna leaf through like her bag and she's gonna slide like 2 pages over to you, as well as
how
like
many pages do
think-
you have left?
I think I may have one.
Okay.
I have one left. Okay, 1 page left. I gave out like 8 earlier.
The best
She
page
slides over
ever.
a page and like a pen and like ink, and she's like, "Why don't you start here and tell me how it feels to write on the best paper you will ever touch?"
Ah, will do. And I just basically take that pen and write an autograph, and also thanking Alice for the handkerchief earlier, because many people haven't given Erlon much. So anything that he has been given, he takes really well. So he appreciates it.
Then you realize you signed a contract.
I own your soul
Perpetuity.
now.
Ah!
Alice, do you own a paper company?
I don't be foolish. I don't own it at all. I'm simply the face, to say the least. My husband does, Bruce Mezzer. He owns Paper Industries. I'm sure you've heard of him. I mean, everybody's heard of him.
Do I know the name? Does anybody know the name?
Roll a history check. How often do you know CEO names?
I meant I was thinking more the paper company
The
itself.
paper company. Okay, yes. Paper company you would know, and even Zanny would know, because it actually makes sense. Their factory is next to the skyport, or it's in the city that has a skyport leading to the RIA, or one of the ways to get for the RIA for it. Paper Industries is one of the most premier paper companies in the central Aramir region. They compete with other paper companies in eastern and western Aramir.
Ah, I've heard of them. Their
A lot
normal
of-
paper is pretty good. Their spell paper is kind of, I normally like to get mine from, a local vendor that handcrafted artisan paper.
Munder Difflin.
I
Perhaps
mean,
it's not the spell paper, and perhaps your hand copying the spells that is the problem.
I mean, he's gonna pull in his pocket, pull out a piece of spell paper, and be like, "Feel this. This is organic, handmade, high quality spell paper."
I feel no difference.
That's because you're not a wizard.
He's just a bard.
Exactly.
That's the bod, of course.
But as for the name himself, none of you recognize the name, Bruce Mezzer.
Alice, when you flip it over, you see on the back it is your company's paper.
She's just gonna turn it around like with that little like logo, and she's just gonna slide it back to you. Be like, "Yes, see, you're right. Quality paper."
He's gonna realize he sees this for the first time, be like, "That swindling bitch. She told me this was high quality. I paid 10 silver a page for this stuff.
And it's
Yeah,
high
I know.
quality.
It's not that high quality."
Oof.
Yeah.
I mean, 10 silver a page is a lot, honey. I'm not gonna lie.
Like
I
$10.
thought it was organic, special magic paper made from old magic trees and recycled. And
Magic trees.
this is why you can't be good to the environment.
They don't cut down old magic.
No, you
That's not
definitely
good.
can be
Oh,
good to
there's
the
so many things that are
environment.
wrong.
It's pretty easy.
This is why I like skeletons better. They're just so much easier to talk to.
I'm sorry. What the fuck did you just say?
Like Sheldon?
Yeah, no, did you not see this thing?
He just points at.
How?
Turtle.
Points at
The
this.
turtle just
It's
goes-
like by your feet.
He just goes, looks up and goes.
Like for the first time, she looks down and actually sees Sheldon and actually recoils in her seat.
Yeah, don't let it touch you.
Sorry.
I mean, he doesn't actually talk because he doesn't have vocal cords that are soft anymore. They're hard, but I mean, he's my favorite people.
You're a. And Zanny gets up and walks out.
Okay.
I guess she doesn't like turtles.
Affection for the dead, a common trait amongst your family.
My family? No, we're mostly sorcerers. I was the firstborn eldest son that wasn't a sorcerer. I had
That's
to learn my
embarrassing.
magic the hard way.
Well, we're not all perfect.
Yeah. We can't all
You-
be you.
But you also dabble in. I mean, that's very true. If there were more than one of me, this world would be just a utopia, and we can't have that. That'd be boring. Do you just dabble with the dead? Are you a little bit more interested in what sort of happens to the person themselves, rather than their husk?
You know what I have been trying to figure out? What happens if you get a ghost that's from one person and their body that's a zombie from the same person? If you put them back together, do they come back to life, or do they? What happens?
Well, if we have to spend much more time out here in the desert, I dare say that's something you and I can put our heads together on.
Oh, you like ghosts and stuff too?
Well, like is a strong word. More accept that they're there.
Can Lance roll an insight check to see if he knows or he figures out what that means?
Sure, roll an insight check. And Alice, if you want, roll a deception check to try to make it, if you want to try and make it sound very elusive.
Yeah.
I was gonna say she's a bard. I'm assuming she beats my
I'd like to use my. Never mind. I didn't read what you read. Go ahead.
I rolled an 8. I'm pretty sure you
Okay.
need it.
You don't know what you don't know.
Lance is just sitting there trying to figure out, is like, is she a bard? Is she actually a bard, or is she a sorcerer? And is there undead magic sorcerers? I've never met one. Is that like a wannabe necromancer? He's just kind of confused.
Awesome. And just to double check, because I was also typing really quickly, but did M and APOC introduce themselves or not yet?
Not yet.
No, yeah.
No, we haven't got around to the full circle yet.
All right.
I've just been puff passing and making us relive trauma.
Hey, I said heroic and impressive. He's the one that said it's dark.
Look, Big Red has a lot of complications. Okay.
Did we all have to take a hit on this pipe?
It only the like illusion thing only happens once
okay.
for one person. But I mean, he'll pass the pipe around for sure and pack it with some other stuff.
Better stuff.
Some of that Feywild weed.
But yeah, once there's kind of like a lull and he realizes that not everyone has went, he'll say, and you can call me Embrin or M or whichever you prefer. And this here is Blazer, if you haven't met him already.
And with the lull, I'll say that was like about 10 minutes when it came. And that's when Zanny is coming in, right as you're introducing yourself M, and then Blazer next to you. The cat goes, meow.
Do you want
Hi,
him back?
everybody. There's. I think there's something out there. Sorry.
Out where?
I think I saw something outside.
Show me.
Something that we have to fight? Is it another boat?
I don't know. I just wanted to come get you all before I went and checked it out.
Have any of you
Red,
seen
let's
boats
go.
that go in the sand before? That was weird. Anyway, let's go check this out.
Lance sits there and goes, "Oh shit, we were supposed to burn those bodies, weren't we?"
As you guys go towards the door, do you open the door suddenly, or do you get to the door and slowly open it?
Is there a
You
window
didn't
in the
burn
door?
bodies?
There it
Let's
is.
see. Can we check the windows first?
Yeah, we're sitting right at windows, aren't we?
Yeah, you can kind of like open the
It's
windows.
just pretty fun to
But
open
the question,
doors suddenly.
let me ask you this: with the windows, they're closed and there's a blind. Are you opening them suddenly or opening them slowly?
Slowly, like, peek out.
Okay. Roll a perception check for me, please. And anyone can do this.
Yeah, let me get that roll.
I'll take a look.
Also, if anyone has
Oh.
night vision, it's normal. If you have or if you have dark
Oh.
vision, it's normal. If you don't, it's with disadvantage.
I still got a 14 between the split between the two.
Yep. Awesome. Let me roll.
Can I ask a weird question?
Sure.
If there's a window here, can I cast dancing lights on the outside of the window?
Yes, you can. If you could see through it.
I think I can see through it.
Yeah, you can kind of like peek
Okay,
and then cast
yeah.
the dancing light.
I'd
Is
like
that what
to.
you wanna
I'd like
do?
to. Yeah, I'd like to just send up 4 orbs, just sort of like 2 off to the side, so they kind of shine in this immediate window area, and then 2 more like a little bit further out.
Okay, that's not gonna. Then great, you do that. No more perception checks because the light definitely helps and reveals what is outside.
Oh.
Pack of hyenas, including a couple of giant hyenas, are walking towards the dead bodies, cackling. And immediately, as lights turn on, they immediately look and are now staring at the lights and the train inside.
Yeah.
Hungry.
Oh, cute little puppies.
Maybe just.
You turn off the light, Alice, or no?
Yeah.
Oh yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Maybe we just turn the lights off and let them have some food.
I'm gonna leave one.
roll a
I'm gonna
D20.
leave one glowing like right past them.
Yeah, they looked towards the train and saw living prey. Roll a d20 for me to see if they're gonna think of something.
I'm just gonna slowly put a poison dart into my shotgun.
Yeah, let me roll.
Ah.
Let's see, that would be
And just very quiet, try to quietly crack a window open.
okay. One of them, and this is a giant hyena, literally goes right towards the window that you had, and you kind of close it, and you just feel a big thump as it's sticking its nose on the window glass and is sniffing, and can smell blood coming from the train as well. One of them puts their claws on it and kind of digs a little bit into the metal. And there's a bit of a
Don't you do it.
screeching sound.
Oh,
Don't you do it, sweetie. Don't you do it.
As more and more of them converge.
can I like spray my little perfume bottle that I have in my bag around this window, trying to just like make it not smell like blood immediately right in this area?
Sure. And I think that's a good place where
some
we're
off.
gonna end the session tonight.
No.
Oh man.
The dancing lights, that's what drew their attention even more. They were just gonna go for the body.
Sorry guys. Sorry about that. I'm blind. I'm a human. I can't see.
I got my
It's all
spell
right.
back. I'm
But
good.
there was gonna be 2 things. One, they were gonna get the
Talk our way
bodies,
out.
but they were also gonna, because of the blood in the train cart and the second cart, that's what's drawing them a lot more. And these might not be the only creatures, but the lights have interested them. We'll see next time if they actually attack or if they head away. But yeah, congrats! You made it through session 2.
Yay.
That was a fun one.
Oh my god.
Awesome.
All right, we'll see what happens in session 3.
Session
And-
3 called Oh Noel.
Oh no. We'll see. I mean,
Yeah.
hyenas. Maybe there's a null party. If the hyenas don't come back.
Something else might.
All right, y'all. Thanks so much.
See you,
Talkseria
everyone.
starts momentarily. If you can join, great. If not, no worries. I'll see you all next time. Take care.
All right.